Has anyone come online yet? Let's have a look. Oh, there's a few people come online now. Evening all, Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Speedway Memories. Hope you're all good. Should be a cool one tonight. I have spoke to this man pretty much since I started it 2 or 3 years ago. So it'd be good to get him on. Hope everyone's good. Thought we'd have a quick little couple of minutes so we can sort out who's not clicked on the link to get the old Facebook working. Hello, Mr. Mark Barter. How's it going? Hello. I'm not sure who that is. Evening, but this is what I was just talking to you about, and I like to come in and a little bit early. My guest to be here the next 5 minutes or so. So basically, on the Facebook, if you're coming in on Facebook page or on the Facebook group, basically before you click on the video, you need to click on the link in the post, and it gives you Facebook permission basically to use your profile, like Martin here, so I can see who I'm speaking to. Hello, Mr. Neary, how's it going? And then you can see that Dan's name comes up okay on Facebook. Evening, Dan. Evening, Scott. Hope you're good. So yeah, so whoever that is, you can just literally click out of here, just come out of here, go on the post. There's a link on the post, click on there, and it should give your Facebook permission to use the profile on it, and then I can see who I'm speaking to. Good, just speaking to Nikki Landon. Ah, I see. How are you? All right. Here he is. Woo! The Batman. How's it going, mate? The Brap Zone. I like that. I'm not sure who this is, but I'm glad you're looking forward to it. Should be a good one. Like I said, I've just saying to a few people that I've been chasing Mr. Stored for a couple of years or so since I first started, really. So finally got him on. So whoever that is, yeah, like I said, the Facebook, if you're on Facebook page or Facebook group, just click out of this video, click on the link in the post, and it just basically gives your Facebook permission on the privacy thing to see your profile, and then I can see who I'm speaking to, which is good. Hello, Mr. Richmond. How's it going? So you can see it like that. Look. Otherwise, it just comes up as Facebook user. You can't see. It's a bummer because you can't see who you're talking to. Hello, Phil. Hope you're good, bud. So there's a few in here already. So seems like everyone's got some cool things to talk about. Sordy, what he's doing now. The BSMA days. Obviously, the British Championship days. The GP days. Should be interesting. There's a couple more there that have not coming out with the names. Evening, Mr. Kevin Baker. How are you? Not sure who that is, but evening, and that one there. Hello. So those guys there, you can just click out of here. And there's another one. Look, good evening, Lee. And this should be a good evening. Hopefully you guys will come out of this video, click on the link in the post, and then come back in, and then I can see your name, like James there. Hi, mate. Need to talk to you. Okay. Can see Mr. Gibson. How's it going, buddy? I can see Doris as well. My missus? My mum, sorry. I remember when he was a little boy, Stephen Sword. Yes. You always know everyone when they were a little boy. Hello, Ian. I can see Ian. I can see your profile all good. So it's just a few here. Look, I can see Darren Williams. Hi, Darren. Hope you're good, buddy. I think you're coming down to the reunion, aren't you? In a week and a half now, is it? Jesus. Not sure who this is. Who is that? Hopefully you're gonna, and there's another one here. Hopefully you guys will come out of here, click on the link in the post, and it should give your Facebook permission to use your profile, and then I can see who you are, like Darren here. Otherwise it's a nightmare because you do that. Who the hell's that? Lee Ashby up there with Trevor Atfield. The commentary fun. I loved old Trevor. What was the one that Vaughan Williams told me that he always used to do on the old PA in the morning at a BSMA National? What was the one he did? Hang on, I'm going to get it. I've got to get this. What does he say? I think it was something along the lines of wakey, wakey, tea and cakey. Something like that. But we did see Trevor Atfield. He come to our reunion one at Little Hempston. That was cool. Got loads of pictures with him and that. And also we had John Linton there, Steve Linton's dad. Come up on the commentary as well, said that I was on the City and Guilds training on the commentary because we got thrown in at the deep end really when our commentator didn't turn up. But thank you to that commentator for not turning up, because I ended up doing Reunion 1 and did Reunion 2. Really loved it. Took all the pressure off of the event and all the organising for 5-6 months before. I was literally like, and literally once I got on the commentary after shitting myself initially, when Kevin goes, "You'll have to go and freestyle it." I'm like, "What?" Because you do the interviews. I'm like, piss off. Evening, Adrian. I can see your profile as well. Can't see though who that is. Ask about his 125 GP Husqvarna days. I've got the pictures of that, my friend. So hopefully you'll get your name registered before we start. Hi, Leo. A hug from Argentina. Whoa, we're global. Argentina. 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 Buenos Aires. Diego Maradona. Steady with that old hand. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine, eat the bacon, not the rind. Up, 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 you lazy swines. Is that what it was? Who is that? You're ace, whoever you are. So before this man comes on, a few of you guys there, so whoever that is, you need to just come out of this video, click on the link in the post, and then come back in, and it should, evening Phil, then it should be able to see, like you can see Phil there. So hopefully you can do that as well, my Argentinian friend, whoever that is, unless you're on holiday. And these ones here, look, whoever said these. So hopefully I can see who I'm talking to then. That'd be good. Not sure who that is, but I'll take a hug from Kent. Whoever that is, hopefully you'll get your name registered on here and then I can see who you are. Who is doing commentary for Reunion 3? Unfortunately, it's me, Kevin, with my other Kevin. Oh, it's Babby, Mr. Vaughan Williams. Babby, get out of here, click on the link and get back in here. I want to see VW18. I know who Babby is. Mr. Grimshaw, how's it going? Mr. Tom is flying, I see. See you were up the GP at the weekend. Fair play. Stephen, a legend, is always welcome for a beer at the Chambers Racing Camp. Not me then, Dave. I'm only good for half, so I won't use much drink. I'm a cheap date, buddy. So hopefully you'll see you guys as well at Ling this weekend. Woo! I'm on the old debut on the commentary. Looking forward to it. I don't think we're over the actual tunnel yet at Ling, because I think they have their own personal commentator on there on the tannoy at the track, but we'll be on like the live feed for the Revo British Championship online and all that sort of stuff on the YouTube and all that. So hopefully all the camera work is all good and everything, and we'll be in there giving it the full beans. I remember the wakey wakey bit. It was Tim Glasspool. Hopefully you'll get out and get registered back in, buddy, so we can do it. Hello, James. How's it going? Hi, Martin. You all right? Yes, mate. Listen to this as well. You as well. Get in. Shandy all the way. Shandy Bass. I'm pathetic. I went out for the first time in a long time on Saturday night thinking that I was getting out to, you know, just give myself a little break from everything. And I think I had 3 pints of shandy and I was like wavy. That's what the kids call it, isn't it? Hello, Mr. Chris McMillan. I would love to see you, my friend, at one of our reunions. Another BSMA legend. Honda UK man, this man. It's good to see you. I think I saw you and met you at Fox Hill Vets. I'm sure I saw you there. Evening, Gary. The man will be on any minute. I'm a big fan of Paul Malian and Conrad Muse, great riders. Hopefully these two here, Sordy up there with the best BSMA riders of all time. 100%. He's got to be up there with Stephen Holmes, Cole Nunn. There's so many guys, isn't there? That won, like, they were just like crazy good. And the schoolboys went up super early and went, you know, left the schoolboys at like 15 on a. Hi, Dick. How's it going? Yes, I thought we did, bud, because I'm sure we had a photo as well, didn't we? That was good. I met so many people at Fox Hill Vets. That was really cool. Hopefully the same again this year. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, after this British Championship this weekend, hopefully I'll be on the commentary for Fox Hill for the next round. We've got Hurlins is there and there's a wild card as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. And in my hometown, as you can imagine, I'll be slightly buzzing to go there. Met Stefan Everts there for the first time. How cool was that? When Liam was riding in the British Championship. I just spoke to Stefan today, actually, about doing an interview with Liam Everts. So whoever these guys are, hopefully you'll come out of this live, click on that link in the post and then come back in and then I can see who I'm talking to. Ah, right. Okay, Dick. So you've sorted out now. Good man. How's the camera work going, my friend? I see you doing the business there on the old profile pic as well. Not sure who that is, but hopefully you'll register that name as well so I can speak to you properly. Hi, Andrew. How's it going, buddy? Sad about the news of Wolves Speedway. Had a good chat with just typical that I had an ex-Wolverhampton rider on last night in Graham Jones, but that was crazy with the Welshman. Absolutely nuts. Hates Tesco's, by the way. So, yeah. So as soon as I go to Tesco's next, I'm taking a picture of myself at Tesco's and sending it to him. So hopefully whoever that is, you can come out of this video, click on the link and come back in and we can see who you are. Hello, how's it going? Is that you, Mark? Hope you're good. Ah, right, okay, yeah, you covered the Masters last weekend. That was good then. I do like a bit of photography. I did do a bit, and then I went to the British GP in 2021. Couldn't go last year because my back's broke. I'm actually sat with a flipping body belt on now. Sorty better like tricky questions. You wrote that? Let me just check that again. Oh, Ian Carson. Yeah, let's get him in. Ask him how much he loves the English and all that. Is he really English? Not been in an MX event since the 90s. Can't wait to come and watch the reunion. Oh, awesome. So I'll be really looking forward to you coming to the reunion, buddy. Oh, oh, oh. I've just seen an Englishman drop into the bottom of my camera. Yeah, I'm glad I can't hear him because I think he's calling me some names. So, right, you won't be able to hear us, Sordy, until I bring you in the screen, but you can hear me, unfortunately. I'm just going to play this little promo video and then we'll go for it and hopefully it'll all work. Here we go. So at least I got the Scottish flag on that little bit at the end, didn't I? Sordy,
how are we doing?
How are you?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, fine, yeah. Just admiring your shirts in the background.
Yeah. Got them at, well, the guy that was doing it was at Fox Hill, so they're not like originals or anything, but yeah.
Brilliant.
No, how are you then? So it was a bit of a mad dash then, buddy, was it?
Yeah, it was. I've literally just walked in about 10 minutes ago, as you know, so I'm pleased it all worked and I can, yeah. It's been a while coming because you've been asking me for a long time, haven't you, to be fair?
Yeah, I did. I actually was speaking about that before you come on. I was saying I've been chasing this man for 2 or 3 years, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I know. I've just been trying to build it up so it's a bit more hyped up.
I think I even remember what you said, but we won't say that.
Yeah, I can't remember what I said. I probably asked for some start money or something, did I?
No. You give your banter was, I'm waiting for all the riffraff to be done first, is what you said.
Oh, I might have said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you've got through the riffraff now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think I messaged you the other day, going, have I done enough riffraff now to get you on?
Yeah, you've had some good ones, to be fair. Fair play. It's been really good.
Been some mental ones as well. Yes, for sure, mate. Everyone likes all the British ones, though, the best, to be fair.
Yeah.
Everyone likes the British ones. Been some great shouts on here about you already, mate. Someone said, I hope you like difficult questions, so I'm not sure what that is. And then that's a nice one as well. Sordy up there with the best BSMA riders of all time.
Yeah, well, that's nice. It's very nice of them being nice to start with. Are you easing me in with some nice ones, and then the bad ones will come later on? Yeah, I've had great memories of the BSMA days. Funny enough, I was actually up at Ladram Bay a couple of days ago. We had some friends staying up there.
Yeah.
So we went and met them up there for a couple of hours and had some food up there. But yeah, everyone that knows Ladron Bay, there used to be a BSMA track there. So yeah, very nice.
Yes. I actually saw your picture in there as well when I saw your Ladron Bay. It was like over the sea, wasn't it? It's sort of like near the edge of the cliff. Like, look, that's what.
That's right. My memories are there. Well, I've got two memories of that place actually.
Yeah.
First one is I think I was probably on the 100 because you rode the 100s at the BSMA, and then the 80s at the changed the barrel for the ACU events. But I remember going down the start straight, turning around the start straight, first corner. This is first lap, just off into practice. Down the next straight, which went to a little drop off, and I'd obviously not pumped the back brake, or my dad didn't pump the back brake. Loads of WD on the disc, so I went for the back brake, no back brake, straight through the ropes, hit a post, and broke my toe. This was 2 corners into the meeting.
Oh wow!
And we nearly went home, to be fair, at that point. But it was a long way from Scotland to Ladron Bay. So
yeah,
I went
just
out
a bit.
I went out in the first race, and I think I actually got second. I can't remember who won it now. I got second in the first race, and then I thought, oh, it's not so bad. And then I think I won the next 4 races. But I remember that was one thing. And then going down to the caravan park to have a wash in a swimming pool on the Saturday night. Yeah, good memories down there actually. There's a lot of good track. I mean, I'm in the southwest. Obviously, I'm down that way now, so I'm often bump into a few people that are from back in those days. I bumped into Stephen Liddington the other day.
Yeah, he's come to Reunion as well.
So I bumped into a few. Yeah, great memories of the BSMA.
I think because it always bloody rained down there as well. I went down there a couple of times and it rained and it was cancelled the whole second day. I remember getting on the old hay bales rostrum they had in the beer tent.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I was in the seniors 125s. Yeah, but it was good. But like I said, I think we've even got the caravan, but it always bloody rained off or something like that most of the time I went down there.
One day would be dry, the next day would be wet. That's probably
wipeout. Yeah. Here's a cheeky little one. Look at you on the old 100cc Team Green Days. I think this is Longdon 94 BSMA finals, sorry.
Correct, 10 points.
Dainsy behind you.
Matt Danes behind me. Yeah, he went well on those tracks. He gave me a little run for my money every now and then. Don't know who that is in third or.
Yeah, I think that might be Ben Dyson.
Possibly. Yeah.
I can tell he's got like a little motor helmet on with a red peak on. But
yeah.
Yeah, you were.
A lot of the old vans in the background, isn't there? There's not so many flash ones there. They're all the 814 Mercs or the Ivecos.
Because I don't know about you, I'd never before that finals. I hadn't even ridden there before. I didn't even know it was there. Like, I don't know if you'd ridden there before, had you?
No, never. No, I think I only raced there once.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I didn't know about it there, but.
You just don't get them. You don't get them tracks anymore, do you? Like,
no, you don't, mate. No.
Proper natural.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
always
good.
Gets rough, doesn't it? But yeah,
I remember that.
Nice
I remember that. I remember that one. 74, I was at the BSMA, and then I was 14, I think, at the ACU.
Got nice one there. Remember
that? That's it.
So Fox Hill, I think, over that little double at the end of the straight, I think that is.
Yeah, it's Fox Hill 95.
Yes.
With a bib on, you had to wear the bibs. You weren't allowed to ride unless you didn't have the bibs on. So you used to cut the bibs down because I was quite small, and the bibs were always like double XL or something like that. So the first thing you'd do, you'd sign on, scrutineer or whatever. You get your goodie bag, get the bib, cut the bib down. Get it fitting nice and tightly instead of it flapping around.
Well, I was actually. It'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I don't know what happened to them. I've just never come across them in my boxes and stuff. Yeah.
I got to give him that one. That's quite a cool one.
Yeah, nice.
That was Jorgen Nielsen sent it to me, and Paris Supercross 87. So that's pretty trick, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that original?
A few collectors. Yeah, so a few collectors would kill me for that one, I'm pretty sure. If they had the chance.
Yeah.
Right, there's loads of people coming in the questions here. Leon Day, I know he was at Team Green as well. I remember him on the old 125 when they had the old McGrath helmets and that. I'm sure it was when they did that.
Yeah.
I think I
That
remember
was it.
painting and that. Yeah.
That would be that year. That photo that you've shown of Longdon, that was that year. Yeah.
So was that a personal sponsor? Because I'm pretty sure you ran the Arai helmet, didn't you? I think it might have been sprayed or something, but I'm sure you ran the Arai helmet, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know why I ran that RI. I think I ran that RI for 3 years running.
Right, okay.
We only had one helmet back then, sort of. But I think
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't. They ran the Bell helmets, did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ran those. You know the original
Or
McGrath one with that yellow bubbles and that. Yeah.
or the Premier helmets. I don't know.
Premier
I don't know
helmets they did as well. Yeah.
I don't know if they fit me properly, but I remember
Maybe.
they just said I could kind of use what I wanted. I think
Right, okay. Just thought you might have been a personal sponsor or something.
No, but Tom Fuller from Image Design Custom, he sprayed that helmet. That was one of his first ones. I've still got that helmet.
Have you?
Yeah, and he's got a lot better since that one. The detail on that one, that was a quick one, I think. But still, when I remember getting the helmet, thinking it was the best thing ever. I thought it was great.
You feel like an American for a bit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there was a bit of pink in there and blue, and yeah.
Is it in there, Saldy? Is it?
No, it's not in there. It's actually in Scotland. That other helmet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's there. Yeah, that's not. It's not in there. But that is all the other ones he'd done for me. Yeah, he's done it. I've got them all in the garage. They're not in a box now. They're up on the shelf in the garage.
Ah, nice. I've got another one there. That as well. That was a nice.
Yeah, that one there is. That's a Fox design. Because Fox weren't keen on you changing. They weren't really keen on getting your helmet sprayed. I think you were allowed like one. We were sort of allowed one a year. And so me and Tom said, well, I said, look, keep the Fox design because where it's all green, that was a different color. He's just changed the green to a different color. He put my name on the back, gold leaf number 7. That's at Canada Heights. That was brand new that day. In the first race, I was coming from the back, so I had a bad start, a really bad start, and I went around this corner and whacked my head on the side of a post. And it's not, you can't see it because it's the other side. There's a massive chunk at the side of the helmet where the number 7 is on the other side.
Yeah.
So it was literally practice old, and I smashed it up. And I said, he was at the meeting. I said, look, what's happened here? He said, "Oh my gosh!" I said, "Well," so I gave him the helmet. He's got that helmet hanging up somewhere.
Nice.
He used to do a good job, but I did get a bollocking for that one as well. Fox said you can't do that, so I was like, "Well, it's never going to be ridden again anyway." So, yeah,
you still got that one. Still got that.
What, that one there?
Yeah.
Tom Fuller's got that one up somewhere.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah, I gave it to him with a big hole in the back, smashing the back of
it. Keep that for memories.
Yeah.
I got Jamie Smith. How are you doing, Jamie? He runs the old Ultimate Honda's team. He's now in the British Championship with his team, which is cool as well. He's just put get on that bike the weekend in the Vets and the British.
Yeah. There's a few people asking those questions.
Are they?
Yeah. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes either. So.
Shit! Hello. I'm having me debut on the old commentary as well, Sordy. I'd get well excited in the flipping.
Yeah.
Sordy in the.
I'll be there one way or another. I really I enjoy all that, and I'll be around. I haven't been around for it that much because I've been away, obviously, with the GPs and everything. So it never really fit in very well with being away and then being home and then having a bit of time with the family and stuff. So. You got to get the balance right sometimes, but I will be there this year, definitely. I think so.
So it's Chris McMillan there. He's just put, "Hello, young Stephen. How's tricks? Looking wow."
Yeah, he spelt my name wrong for a start off.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, I've met Chris a few times. I usually bump into Chris, or used to bump into Chris. At the Isle of Man at the TT when I was doing some bits over there with Honda. He was always there watching, and I used to bump into him there. Bumped into him at Farley Castle as well. But he was a good lad. Yeah, good rider as well. Yeah, very good rider.
I think he rode for Honda UK, wasn't
yeah,
it?
he did ride for Honda.
Mm.
Yeah, really good schoolboy. Yeah.
Even my mum, bless her, come on and said, "Oh, I remember Stephen as a very young lad."
Yeah.
She says that about everyone. Don't tell me he was another one you bounced on your knee, was he?
Yeah.
I have to tell all the speedway riders as well. And I'm like, oh my god, look, check this out. Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that when it first started? Is that when it all started?
Yeah, that was the first bike, which is not there anymore. I've got the kit. I've got the kit framed. I haven't got the helmet anymore.
Yeah.
I've got the kit.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's framed up. I got that specially
Beautiful.
made as well. Only had one set. That was the first bike, the Honda number 7. I don't know why we've not got 7 on the side panels, but we got it on the front. I think that's where I kind of got riding with the number 7 from when I sort of started to ride with 7. I remember people asking me. I said it was the first number that we had on a bike. I started on a Honda and I actually finished my career on a Honda as well. So it wasn't planned that way, but it just happened that way. But yeah, if you notice the gloves, the gloves are mittens. They're not 5 fingers.
Oh yeah, the old ones used to have on the end of coats and that.
Yeah, that's it. I've probably got it thread around the back of my. When we used to, put them in your coat.
String. Yeah.
So I couldn't lose. Yeah, well, they might even be wellies. Yeah, I think they might be wellies as well.
Well, that's the days, isn't it? When it's
BMX,
all innocent and all that.
BMX knee pads underneath, probably.
Love it.
Yeah, that was it.
Classic,
That's in the front garden somewhere, a front drive. I don't know. Yeah, I used to have a little track going around the front. My granddad's house and my parents' house were kind of shared the same drive. And I used to make a bit of a mess around there. It was all right on those bikes, but when I started to get on the 65 and 85, I started to rip up a few. Yeah, I used to get a right bollocking. Sometimes I'd get out there and there'd be ruts in the garden. I'd jump off the wall. I even got the ramp out of the back of the van and put the ramp up on like a load of breeze blocks my dad must have had a stack of breeze blocks.
Yeah.
That he'd had for building, and I put the ramp, which thinking about it now was not safe. And I used to jump off the ramp and land on the garden, and then I remember getting a right time off once because I'd literally ripped up the whole front garden. But
that sounds familiar.
We didn't really practice. We didn't really practice then.
No,
because people often ask me, "Oh, you must have practiced." I mean, even when we used to come down to the BSMA or the ACU, you must practice loads. But people just didn't practice back then really much.
No, you didn't. No, yeah, you're right.
You were lucky in the school holidays to get out and about, or we used just to go from one week to the next racing. Yeah. Maybe get out on a flat field on a summer's night, but that was about it.
How old were you there then, Sordy, when you first had that bike then? How old?
I'm just 5 there. Just nearly, either nearly 5 or just 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's spouting right now, Chris. He's come back with a.
Yeah, he's done it. Yeah, he's
done it now. Oh, Mr. Max Hend is trying to get you on. Got a nice 96 250 for you, dude.
Yeah. I know the only means as well because I asked to ride it a few years ago, and it just wasn't ready, or he didn't want. It was too nice for me to ride. I'm not sure.
Yeah. He's got some nice Castrol ones, isn't he? Jesus, they are factoried up really bad.
There's a lot of there's a lot of nice bikes now, isn't there? Really, to be fair, there's a lot of bikes that are nice. Yeah, it's sort of. Yeah.
I can see the questions coming in now. That Mr. Martin Neary. Hello, Martin. Hi, mate. How did you manage to get out of your Husqvarna contract and ride for KTM? Laugh out loud.
All right.
Here we go.
Well, it was quite easy in the end. I mean, without going into too much detail, I mean,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was a case of I didn't really fall out with anyone either. I just I made a decision that I can't do because the bike I was promised a little bit more than I got, and I never really got what I was promised in a way. And the bike was good. Don't get me wrong, the bike was good. The people there were good. Trevor Avery looked after me really well. He had Nani alongside me on the 250 as well. It was great, but the bike just kept breaking, and I thought I just can't do this anymore. And I thought at this, if I don't do it now, I might, lose a year or so. So, and to be honest, it wasn't even the fact that the bike wasn't good enough. The bike was good enough. It just kept breaking a lot of the time, and it was my decision, and no one really stopped me. But the obstacle I had to get over was getting out my contract, obviously, which wasn't easy straight away. I had to deal with Mike Carter, who I get on well with quite well with Mike now anyway. And I didn't really fall out with him at the time over it either. He didn't want to let me go. And I kept asking and asking, and he just said, look, it's not sort of possible. And yeah, I basically had to pay my way out of the contract. So I remember him ringing me up one night and saying it's going to cost you 25 grand to get out your contract. And I said, you'll have the money by the end of the week. And he had the money the next day nearly. So I had some savings. I was 21 at the time. And I'd just bought a house the year before. So I'd sort of put all my money into a house. So I didn't have lots lying around. I had some savings. I remortgaged the house, saying I was putting an extension on the back, and I paid in the money straight away. And I was out of the contract, and I was on a KTM within days, and I never really looked back. Really, I didn't even feel like I'd spent that kind of money. And I had my own personal clothing sponsorship. I had my boot sponsorship with Alpine Star. I was with O'Neill, AGV helmets, Oakley. So I had all these sponsors that was my salary really. KTM didn't give me a salary, but they gave me a really good bonus and a top 3 bonus, and I just changed the bonus and put everything on to winning the British Championship. I said, don't make it top 3. I'll just have everything for winning, whether it's winning on the day or winning the championship. And I got my money back, no problem that way. And then I started to do well in the Grand Prix, which led into the next year being good with KTM. So I don't look back and think I've done the wrong thing.
So it went well, it just kept breaking, and obviously that's heartbreaking, isn't it, when you're putting all the effort in?
Yeah, it did, and then I can't really remember too much about it, because I just remember me not being in a good place, thinking, I don't want to get on this bike, it's not safe, I don't want to, and it wasn't the people that were working on the bike, it was just like, because, I got on really well with Trevor Avery, I got on well with Nani, wasn't like I had a real problem with anything. I just, in my head, I just was like, I need to do this now, otherwise it's, KTM was easily the obvious choice to go on, because the bike was so good. Straight out of the crate, the bike was really, really good.
I got Mr. Adrian Jessup. He's just put, good evening, Stephen, and hope you are well. Will we see you riding at Fox Hills?
Like I said, I won't say no. I just need to make a decision, because I'm like, it's not, you can't just rock up at these things and just, jump on a bike, as I know, because I've done it at Farley, and I prepared a little bit for that Farley one where I had that crash on the 500.
I remember that.
My problem is, and I mean, people probably don't see it, but I got a real bad knee and I got a bad ankle, and if I twist it, it's just
screwed.
It's not worth it. The risk to reward for me isn't there. But in my head, I want to ride around. I want to ride and be there, and I'd like to, if I could guarantee that everyone was going to go really, really well, and no silly mistakes or no, silly injuries. But I'm 43 now, and I can really feel my sort of injuries. I sort of don't get around very well in the mornings. My ankles gives me a lot of grief. The last sort of year, it's given me a bit of grief, but I knew that was coming. I still get around, don't get me wrong. I still ride a bike, and But if I was to twist it or something again, especially my knee's sound, but I've got no ACL. I tore the PCL, everything. I've done that at Farley on that 500. Never had a problem with my knees my whole career. Had knee braces on, and but again, my muscles aren't the same anymore. Not to make excuses, but the ones that are, your brownies and stuff, they're still riding like they were riding before.
Probably fit. I think he might even be borderline fitter than what he was when he raced.
Yeah. I do like the Evos. I like the 1 to 5 Evos and 250s. Even the older stuff. That might be what I'd do. Ride one of the older races. Don't know, but we'll see.
We'll see. Stop asking him if he's riding everywhere. Everyone's like, "Is he going to ride? Can you ride Farley? Can you ride Foxhill? Can you ride this weekend?"
Yeah, it's nice, and it's the same. Obviously, at the moment, I'm sort of doing my own training days, and coaching people from all levels. Really, I was out with Conrad Muse today, Ben Frank, and a couple of young kids as well this morning. That's why I was a bit late tonight. So I'm getting into sort of doing that, and that's taken off really well. But there's a lot of people that come on those days and say, "Oh, have you not got a bike? You bring your bike and ride with us." People just want to circulate around the track with you sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've probably lost sight of that a little bit over the years gone by, because you're still in the mindset that when you want to get on a bike, you want to sort of be half where you were before.
Decent. Yeah.
But I'm thinking of getting a bike to ride sort of with these people and enjoy a few laps with them, and that might kickstart me into just getting a bit of bike time and stuff. So,
you've had a little bit on your arms and that. Steve Liddington, he's just put, "I will get Josh on a training day soon. Who else better to teach a youngster on a KX?"
Yeah, I saw Steve the other day down at Fradden, which again was nice, and it's funny how when you meet people like him and like Chris McMillan and Leon Day and all these people very much in the same era remember all the same, and yourself, you remember all the same small things, and you realize how sort of good it was back then in one respect.
It was,
there was a lot of schoolboys coming up through, and there is some good schoolboys now, but I don't think they have enough races at the moment. I don't think they race enough. But again, we're never going to get back what, even in general life, like it's not the same anymore.
No.
We're never going to get back to how things were back in those days. Sort of seen the change of it all, really. Change of bikes, change of organisers, change of tracks, and it doesn't get any easier than that way.
I think, Sordy, when you're like a special rider, because obviously when we were riding in the older groups, we were obviously older than you, like me, Liddington, and those guys. But when obviously the young kids look up to the old guys, which is always cool. But it's good when the older guys are admiring the younger guys, which doesn't happen very often. So like myself and all that, I used to remember doing that. What's Sordy doing on that jump?
Well, yeah, that's nice. I mean, I used to get on really well. I used to get on well with the older kids, and that's what I mean. It was really good. There was a lot of talent around. There was a lot of good things happening. The manufacturers were very strong to support riders right through, whether it was direct from Team Green or Honda or Yamaha, and then the dealers would have a really good package for other riders. There was always really, really good support. There was plenty to go around. There's very little to go around anymore. There's British Championship riders really struggling to get a good little package together to ride, which again is a sign of the times and how it is now. And it's not any cheaper either.
Right, Adam Pryor, another good schoolboy, still my hero from the schoolboy days.
Yeah, Adam was a good rider as well. Very good rider. I didn't get to see him actually up at Marshfield at the Good Friday race, but I did see him go around. But I didn't get to see. It was busy.
No, it was, wasn't it, mate? It was proper busy, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good. But That's
another
really nice. Another one, yeah.
another good BSMA rider. He was at
Plenty
my
of
club.
BSMA
Malden.
boys in here, isn't there?
Yeah, BSMA boys are bowling in tonight. Saudi up there with the best BSMA riders of all time. Who did he enjoy banging bars with the most during those days? Interesting one.
Who was about? You had a lot of, like, through the years. You had when I was in the 60s, it would be like people like Mark Williams and Mark Horwell, people like that.
Yeah,
You go down to Higher Rokem, whatever it's called down there, and
yeah, I remember that.
they give you a run for your money down there.
Yeah.
Matt Danes was in there, wasn't he? I'm probably going to miss some now. When I was in the seniors, there was a good few fast kids in the seniors. But there was always plenty, you know, there was always someone that would ride really well at their track. You know, there would be someone that would just be really, really good at their track.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd get them pop up every sort of, you know, everywhere you went. But yeah, the BSMA was good. I've got good memories of the BSMA 2 days and the Champions of Champions and stuff. Riding at Maze Moor is probably a really nice track that we used to go to.
That was decent. Yeah, used to prep it overnight. Pretty much the only one, wasn't
it? It was. When you think about it now, they were a little bit ahead of their time, really.
They were actually, weren't they? Yeah, when you think about it, yeah. It was. Interesting one from Ben Pig in here. Hi Ben. He's put, was there any teams that you had a chance to sign for and wish you did sign for that you didn't?
Not really. No. I didn't sort of. No, not really at all. Again, I sort of came up out of schoolboys, and I wasn't there straight away after schoolboys. I'd sort of had to learn again because it's all right winning all through your schoolboy career, but then when I got into the adults, I really struggled. And then it wasn't until I sort of 97, 98 when I moved away from home down to the, you know, if there's a handful of people on my hand that were influential of how my career's gone, it would be the churches would be one, because that was my next home after moving away from home. And Mike and they all put all this, that's 99, that one. Mike put it together and I fitted in well with Tom and Mark, and it just worked really well. That's 97. Fox Hills. I think that's a practice day, actually, believe it or not.
How was it?
It was a practice day, I think, yeah. Yeah, because I was number 3 at the under-21s, I think. But yeah, so that was my first step into the. But we were a British champ. That was a British Championship team, and we'd done some Europeans. I was 17 there, and I had 3 good years there, progressing and, you know, living down there, and I even bought my house down there. That's the Coupe de l'Avenir 95. That's actually the B team. We were the B team that year. But we actually done very, very well as the B team. See, I've cut the bib down. Look, I've sacked all the.
Yeah, geez. Just literally got the Union Jack.
Yeah, sacked over the shoulders off. I think I've got champion on there as well. But yeah, I've actually got Carl Nunn's helmet on there as well. He was in the A team. He let me borrow that helmet. I don't know what happened to my helmet. Might have smashed it up. That would have been the year after, so that's 97. I think we won it that year, or 98 we won it. Still the B team. UK used to send 2 teams. I think I was in the B team 95 and 97, and then in 98 we won it. Me, Mark Jones, Huck, and I think Tom was in it as well. Tom Church.
When you said the B team, I thought, shit, who's in the A team then if that's the B team?
Well, I think the A team was Con and Justin Morris, and who would it be? Someone Justin else. Morris, Jason Higgs, maybe? Someone like
that? Yeah, I think I've got when I did his interview, I put some pictures up on there of him and there as well, so it might have been, yeah.
He won it. He won the outright meeting, I actually didn't do that great at it. I think because I rode the 125. I always rode the 125 there, so you're always sort of battling at the back. But you had all the top names there, as you know, all the Steve Ramons and yeah, that's a funny one, isn't it? That's when we went inside the Snowdome at Tamworth. That's the inside the Snowdome at Tamworth. We done this crossover. They're all snowboarders there that were sponsored by Oxbow. I don't know how this came about, to be honest, but we were all there. But I was the only one that somehow I got nominated to ride up and down the thing. Because everyone thought we just got normal tires on there as well. Everyone thought you're not going to get up and down there. And they shut the place down for an hour or two. And I took off down at the bottom. And I just held it on flat out. And I remember just digging this massive rut, this really deep rut. And the guy come out and he just went nuts. He said, "You can't do that." I said, "But it's not right. That's what it does." So, and that's one of the little jumps on the way back down. I mean, they couldn't believe that we were jumping. I mean, I'm probably 3 foot off the ground now, but they couldn't believe we were doing this. But it was I think it was in a DBR. It was in MX Large or something. Not MX Large. What was the other one? There was another magazine. Can't remember, but it was in that. It was a good. And then we went. Yeah, maybe something. We went. We done a bit of snowboarding there.
Did you?
And then we done a bit of surfing as well. Something to do with surfing. But yeah, all this went on. It was
fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice. Yeah, that's the GP at Fox Hills.
Oh, it's nice
99, yeah, I qualified there, which was good. It was always, that was sort of me getting the grips with the qualifying then. 99, so you had Coyote would have been one of the fast ones there. But it was wet. I'm not sure if I got a point or not. I might have got 1 point, or I was close to getting a point because the points only went down to 15th back then.
Yeah. For someone that I remember when it was always top 15 for the GPs, last point was 15th, wasn't it? But did you always prefer? Because obviously you got to ride all of it, the 2 strokes, 4 strokes. Did you love obviously the 1, 2, 5 2-stroke days?
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, that was me trying to make it at that point. I was far from, getting points, let alone winning Grand Prix or being up at the front at that point. But there was a lot of people I was racing with that, they were in the same boat as me. I mean, Coyote was winning, and I thought I'm never going to get anyone near him at any point. And then, 5 years down the line, I'm racing him at Grand Prix and beating Coyote in the MX2 on 04, 05. Which is, if I look back to what I was thinking back then, I was thinking, how am I ever going to be anywhere near like Coyote and these Pouzars and all these people? But again, with that team, with the Churches, we done the Europeans, which was a stepping stone because we were a British Championship team. It was a stepping stone to trying to, no different to now, like the European is now. And the Europeans, you get 100 riders at a European round trying to qualify. So I was fortunate that they, set that up, that I could have that little stepping stone to GPs. And in 99, we done some Grand Prix. And then 2000, I then went with Thorpe on the Cat Honda, Axo Honda with Brownie, and that was
what was that like?
That was probably the turning point for me for actually qualifying. Wow, this one, that's in San Marino, that track. They don't go there anymore, but really nice hard pack track. So that was me, sort of the next stage of going from that next level into a world championship team. I was fortunate that I'd already known Dave anyway and was training and had that relationship with him. But the benefit for me there was Mike Brown.
Was it? Yeah.
I mean, I just tagged on to him and went practicing with him all the time.
That is, yeah.
And he brought my speed up because Mike was winning GP races that year. I think he finished third in the world. And that was really the confidence for me, was chasing him around. And if I knew I was close to him in the week, and he used to do 3 40-minute motos, no problem. You know, he'd do a Grand Prix on a Sunday, we'd be out riding on a Tuesday, and he'd be doing definitely 2 40 minutes, sometimes 3. Bikes would be full every time. And I just thought, well, I'll just do what he does, and I'll just follow him if I can.
Yeah.
And that was, it worked. And I think he helped me no end. He knows, because I've told him before. I mean, it was only a 1-year thing, because the following year, Dave stopped the team. Mike went back to America, rode for Pro Circuit, and that's when I went with Husky. Actually had quite a good year with Husky the first year. I still improved my GP results and stuff, which you know, made me not have any problem with staying the second year. But then that second year it just didn't happen early on, and then 2002 is when I switched from there to the Albion KTM.
Yeah, I'll check this out. Here he is. Mark Sparky Williams has just come on. Hey, Sordy, I think it's been 30 years since I seen you last. Looking well, mate.
Yeah, no, he's probably right. I mean, it's it just time flies, doesn't it? You don't know where
mate.
people
Jesus
go.
Christ.
Like I said to you, you don't know where some people go, and then you come back and talk about the motocross, and you'll remember the same things, you know.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's why we're still here in it, doing it. But yeah, no, he was a good rider. He was fast. He's nice family. His dad was nice. I remember, you know, they were always nice people.
I've got Wayne here has put Polesworth race with Billy Mack, plus I won the telly in the raffle.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that went down to the wire with him there. I don't remember the raffle, so I can't comment on that bit. That was a great day. Yeah, probably, you know, when you look back now, I mean, you know, Billy and I were sort of, you know, it was a bit good cop, bad cop sort of thing with him, and now we're always been sound. I think it was quite a healthy sort of rivalry, really, and I think that we brought each other on at British, ready for the world stuff as well, because you know, he then went on a little bit after me to then get some Grand Prix wins, and it was healthy that we were racing at a good level at the British Championship, because it's all right winning at the British, but if you're 30 seconds down the track, you're not really getting that intensity of you know, the GP style racing. There was always good competition. And again, going back to the year of with Brownie, you had Patrick Capps in the British Championship. You had Dobby. You might even had Luigi Sagai at some point. He was there. You had Jorgensen. You had probably 10 Grand Prix guys there, and you probably had 2 or 3 Grand Prix guys that would actually win a race at the Grand Prix. So again, for us, the British Championship was a domestic championship, was very, very, very strong.
Very good.
And I think that was very good for the British guys that were trying to just go to the Grand Prix. So
definitely,
it was good.
Yeah, Mr. Airport Autos himself, Mr. Bradley Briggs, true legend of the sport. Time for everyone.
I was about to mention him because he's been asking me to mention his name.
Has he?
No, he's great. I mean, again, he's another one that, you know, he was always friendly enough to come up and say, you know, how's it going? Well done. Another one that you always chat to, and he sponsors a young lad, Elliot Shawyer, that I train a little bit as well. He's on a 65. Okay.
Yep.
So nice guy, nice family. Great.
Spencer got some bikes then, boys. Sordy, Jesus.
He has, he's always
Jesus,
on
him and Spencer.
You know. Yeah. He's asking me if I had any ones for sale. I haven't got any. I know some people have got some of my bikes, but he's got a good collection. I know that.
Yeah, it's absolutely unreal. So I saw a load of his bikes up at oh, you'll remember this one as well. Was up at Fox Hill Vets last year, and he had like one of them Honda hundreds. Remember? I don't know if you remember that when Jamie Brearden rode on one. It was the only
Yeah,
Honda in the hundreds. Yeah,
very fast, weren't they?
yeah, they were. And he had one like that
Yeah.
up there, and it was just like shit. I was like, I haven't seen that since like '91 or whatever it was.
Gold rims or not?
I don't think it did, but it was like set up like it. But do you know what I mean? It just was like mad to see it, like since you was a kid. But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
I even pushed it over to their little display that they wanted it. So thanks for that, Mr. Briggs. He's also sponsoring one of our races at the reunion as well. So thank you to that man. He's he's a really good guy, and he's definitely gets involved in the sport, and that's what we need, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's great. He's yeah, you need more people like him. And again, it's hard enough at the best of times, so you do need to keep you need to keep these people in the sport, and it's yeah, there's plenty of enthusiasts like him, and that's great for us all.
100%. He also, I remember him used to sponsor Vaughan Williams as well when he was winning the BSMA finals and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Mr. Chambers is just coming on now. Who's got your 125 KTM from 2002? Hi, Tim.
Well, either he's got it or he knows
Okay.
that Kevin Burke's got it. Kevin Burke still got it from who was the director of KTM UK at that time. He didn't wash it. He still had the champagne and the tears on it. I mean, yeah, I don't know where. I think Kevin's still got it now. He says I can use it and ride it whenever I want. I was actually going to, because Bob Bratcher was my mechanic back then. He was going to. He didn't have time because I was going to ride. Maybe we're going to do a lap on it at the Farley. That might be something I'll do maybe at Farley. He's going to get it going and just do a lap on that. That would be the 2002 one, which I did ride that again for a DBR interview. Jeff Parrott rode it as well in 2009. We brought it back out and went to Marshfield and rode it there. That's it.
What's that one? Yeah.
Big
Beauty.
dent in the exhaust there. I think I went
Yeah, I
down
just
on
spotted that.
yeah, went down on the start.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there's a picture of me going down on the start somewhere. Yeah. I think that's Polesworth, is it? I guess.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was the year after, I think. No, it wasn't the year after. That was 2002 still.
Those bikes, obviously, they were really good at that time. And I remember like Dobby on the, was it 2001 or whatever? And then.
Yeah. That they were SXS. They done a sort of not a factory one, but an upgrade from a stock one, and that was sort of the thing. If you could get one of them, that's the year after 2003. That's at Belpuig in Spain. I got the whole shot, led that for a bit. I ended up finishing fourth behind Chiodi Mascio and Andre Bartolini, I think. But that was a good bike. And then halfway through that year, that was only one. There was only that was they only had one race that year as well. You didn't have two. You only had one race. Halfway through the year, I ended up getting a factory engine brought to each race for me for the GPs. Which made another bit of difference because I started to get whole shots on that as well. And yeah, that's at the Ken Hall.
Yeah. Jesus, that Langrish, I had bad memories. I nearly got my head taken off by the rope at Langrish on Jumpers. I remember they just waterlogged the old track when it was as dry as it got. Like you can see the blue groove at the top of the picture. Look.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Just waterlogged it, and we were like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, they don't run that event anymore, the Ken Hall.
No, that was like a bank holiday thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'd have come back from a Grand Prix, so that would have been a Monday after a Grand Prix or something. Yeah.
Did you like running the number one plate, Sordy? I obviously know that was good news to have the number one, but did you always that never bothered you to run the number one? I know some of the guys say they felt pressured with it or anything like that.
No, not really. No, not really at all. I think I'm a bit sort of old school when it comes to the numbers. I think everyone should ride with the numbers that you sort of finish, the position you finish in. Just because I was maybe brought up in that era, but I don't mind people having their own numbers. But Mackenzie's got number 2 on there as well. yeah, Churchy was fourth, and Mackenzie's got number 2, and yeah, I think it was just, it's nice for the crowd as well if you've got you don't see many low numbers anymore, do you?
No, you actually don't know. So that was a shame, wasn't it? The year, I think, was it Hurlins was actually thinking about running the number 1, and then he got bloody injured. Didn't ride all
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
Shame,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah. No, he was contemplating doing it. I mean, I know
it?
they've all done it at some point. Caroli done it for a year or two, and then he went back to the number 222. I think it's just good from the sponsor's point of view as well. Like, if you've got the number 1 on, whether it's World Championship or British or whatever, the sponsors can advertise you a little bit more, maybe, and stuff like that.
Everyone's reminiscing. That was the best days of Motocross there, Cameron.
Yeah, that was Ling. Yeah, they're at Ling. They're at Ling this weekend, aren't they?
Yes,
But
looking forward to that.
yeah, that must have been the second race at Ling, because the first race I went down on the start.
That looks a cleanish one.
Yeah, I went down on the start in the first one and ripped the front brake cable off. So I don't think I finished the race.
What did you think of Ling, Steve?
Yeah, good. I think it's one of the best ones on the calendar for the British. For the British, that with Canada Heights, and yeah. So you got Damien Shoyer there. That's Elliot's dad, who I was just talking to you about, the
Yeah.
Bradley Briggs's little.
Yeah.
That's
It's
who helps
his
him.
sponsored rider. Yep.
Yeah.
Hiya, Damien.
Nice family.
Yeah, all the best for your career, buddy. Looks like you're doing well.
Yeah, he is. He's come on quite a lot. Yeah, he's come on a lot, actually. Yeah.
All the best to him. James has just put, hi, Stephen. What was your most memorable career highlight and your career low point?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of highs and lows on the way, but to sort of just narrow it all down, I mean, the highlight would be winning the first Grand Prix at Tuchental in 04. That's everything you'd worked up towards, dreamed about, and you'd never know if you're going to get there or not. And it happened there. And then the low point was probably 2 years later at the same track, smashing my ankle to pieces. So the sort of a little bit bittersweet at that track. But yeah, that put me out. Yeah, that was the low point. Not that I knew it at that point, but that was 18 months of 18 months of not very nice. Yeah, it was. I wouldn't want to go through that again. Definitely not.
Long recovery, wasn't it?
And it was at the wrong time for me, because I was just getting to the peak of, if I was 25 when that happened. If that had happened when I was 30, I reckon I'd have stopped racing straight away. Because it was just too much. 12 operation. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people have a lot of big injuries, but at the time, I felt like I was crawling the walls with pain in hospitals, and felt like I was getting nowhere. And all of a sudden it gets better and it turns around. But what's good about back then was you find out the people that mean a lot to you and who helps you, and sponsors. And I signed contracts with Fox. I was in hospital, signed a contract with Fox, not even knowing if I was going to race again. And they wanted to sponsor me. Again, that's when I went back to the Molson Kawasaki that year. They took me on, and a lot of people give me a good shot again. So that's probably what helped me get a good few more years out of my career, because unless I got that all in place, because it was very clear, I wasn't going to be with De Groot that year after that, because he pretty much told me straight away. I was a big risk, because he didn't know if I was coming back. So a factory team is not going to. That was the Tuchental year. Same jump as that, on that jump. So yeah, I got a few good people around me, and I actually had it, probably 08, 09. Yeah, I probably had 3 good years after that, and I felt quite exhausted, to be honest. at that point when I was sort
Good
of
job.
32, 33 years old when I stopped. I was a bit exhausted with it all. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
You know, but then you kind of know when the time's right, I guess.
That Kawasaki was always good. You always enjoyed riding that.
Yeah, very good year, that one. Very good bike. That was the first year of the 4-stroke Kawasaki. 04. Really, really good bike. Good suspension, everything handled well. That's at Pontralis, that one. I don't know where that one's at, to be honest. I've never seen that photo before. It's at a GP though.
Yeah, looks big rigs in the thing I can see.
Yeah. That's at Ling as well.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's at Belpuge. Everyone's seen that one before. Yeah.
Better give a shout out to Martin Petts. I've used loads of his photos as well.
Yeah,
Stephen,
Martin's
you probably
got
know
loads.
that guy.
He's got
It's
some more.
mental, yeah. Awesome.
That that's a great shot because I've seen that before, but I didn't get stuck there either. That's before you go up the steps. No.
Oh yeah, the old Spain one. Yeah, I remember that. Jesus.
But the what was I going to say? On the Saturday, I nearly didn't race that event. I didn't race because on the Saturday I tweaked my ankle the week before. I had this sharp pain in my ankle, like just and kept twisting it, and got to the point where I couldn't really put a lap together without it twisting it. And that was on the Saturday, but the Saturday was drier than that. And I think I was qualified something like, I think I was qualified 34th or something. I just barely qualified. And they said, look, you just have to have a go and get a good start and just ride round and see if you can. Anyway, as it happens, you end up riding round. I got third overall and I got the red plate, took the red plate as well. So it was
that was kicking it after that.
Bit of madness to that one. Yeah.
I like that one. I've seen that a few times, but I like that one.
Yeah, I've got that one in the office here somewhere.
That's a good memory, mate, isn't it? Oh, hello.
It's up there. Can you see it up there?
Oh yeah, can see it. Yeah.
That's Ray Archer that took that one. Ray.
Ray. Yeah.
Ray signed it and sent it to me in the post.
Beautiful.
And that's one of the ones I've not got many up on the wall in here, but that's one of the ones.
Nice memory.
Yeah, it's a good one, that. And yeah, I wouldn't say it came easy, but
no.
You try all these years to try and win a race. That was the first race when I had. You try all these years, and people say to you, "Oh, when you win one, it'll be quite easy." And I wouldn't have said it was easy, but it's quite right. When you do it, it's actually not as hard as you think because it just sort of happens.
Yeah.
It's Mallory Park, big triple.
That's huge, isn't it? By the looks of it, shit.
Yeah, it was big. You got Rui Gonzalez there, and then you got.
number 10. Yeah, he was in the middle.
That there is an Italian, I think. Christian Stevanini, I think his name is. But I don't think that's in the race. I think that's maybe practice.
That's a huge jump then.
It was big. It was massive. Big crashes on that. A lot of people are breaking their wrists. And, yeah.
Jesus,
you land. It was one of them ones you never like doing it every lap. You just did not want to do it. But you had to do it to save the time. Yeah.
So Ian Legg said here, "Hi Lee Sordy, what do you think of the Kawasaki with the underneath rear shock?"
Yeah, I never raced with that, or I rode it because they wanted me to try it once. But Anton Mio rode with that. He rode with that at the GPs on the 2-stroke. But the idea of it was good, and it actually worked. It worked. It didn't. He was always quicker on it as well. He was always a second or two quicker on with the shock, but it just kept breaking a little bit, and it was very low to the ground. It was always like bottoming out. But that was Jan de Groot's. That was his own design. That was his paint. I mean, I don't think anyone's took it on since. But yeah, Jan was always up you know, he was another one that was probably a big influence in my GP career. You know, he took me on as a bit of, you know, I wasn't established by then. You know, I was sort of top 6 in the world, but I didn't have a podium or anything, and he sort of transformed me into the, you know, top 3 in the world type rider. Yeah, got a lot of time for him and his family. He's obviously passed away sadly now, but that's a few years now. But very nice family, always made me welcome, and you know, I always got on really well with him.
Bloody knowledgeable guy when he with the bikes and all the tuning and all that.
Yeah, very, very, very knowledgeable. You know, long background of having world champions, and which gives any rider confidence, you know, to believe in what they're doing. And I think that's what I needed at the right time as well, for when I was, you know, when at that point in my career, I needed that next little step. It's very, I mean, I think it's even harder now for people or riders that are not on a factory team to compete with the factory riders. I think, you know, if you're not on a factory bike with that factory support, I think it's difficult to keep up with them.
Yeah, definitely. Not many teams, is there, either, really, like that. It's Ian Chesterman just put, evening, Saudi. I always like to ask them the more questions, as it's still a track like no other ever. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked Namur. I think because I was brought up watching it with the Gabors and Malherbe and Thorpe and all these, you know.
That's cool.
And then I got to race it for the first time in 2001 at a GP, and they had the Nations as well there. And I was lucky enough to win the second race in 2005 there, and didn't win the Grand Prix. I missed the Grand Prix win by 1 point, but it was a special one for me because I'd always wanted to do well there. And a long track, 3.5 minutes long, 4 minutes long. Yeah, it'd be nice again. I'd be all for these tracks to come back. I think there's so many good tracks in the world that we don't go to still, or can't go to, because the infrastructure's got to be a bit different. Or, you know, the money's got to be found to run a Grand Prix. But there's so many really good tracks. But it's all changed again. It's that you don't get them hard baked tracks anymore, where you have to change tire and, you know, hard pack tires and enduro tires. I think now they pretty much run the scoop tire all the time.
Just all groomed and that,
yeah.
Paul just put, wish I had video evidence of laughs we've had travelling around Britain. We had an age difference, but our family was so close, trying to talk French, heading to Ireland and singing to Jimmy music.
Yeah, no, that's Paul.
Sounds good.
Again, yeah, it's we used to spend a lot of time with the family because I grew up around that area in Cumbria. Same club races, East Cumbria and Brampton and stuff like this. And Paul had a track near his house. Sometimes we'd go and practice there. There'd always be a presentation evening over his way. We'd always stay there and then practice the next day. And then his dad, like you said, his dad Jimmy was absolutely bonkers. We got some laughs with him. Yeah, and really nice family. And I remember probably won't know this, but I remember Jimmy always singing, and then I remember him taking us from his house out into the fields because they were farmers, and we went to this little river or stream. He went under this bridge, and he put his hand down under the water, and he tickled this fish, and he brought this fish out of the water. I never forget it, and I thought this is a trick. It's got to be a trick. Yeah, and he was laughing, and then he said, "You try and do it," and I couldn't find any fish down there. And he's like, he put his hand down again. He come out with another fish. Yeah, hilarious. But he used to sing. He used to be singing at the races. He'd be on the side of the track cheering you on. He'd be shouting and bawling. Yeah, really good fun. Yeah, nice.
Good characters to have around, eh?
Yeah.
keep it a bit more fun as well, because it's hard work out there, isn't it, as well sometimes.
It is. It is.
It is, mate. Dan Merrifield. Oh, he's put, hi, Stephen. Great rider in person. What do you think? Who do you think, sorry, will win the British Championship and the GPs, both classes?
Right.
Okay. There you go.
Right. Well, I think the British Championship. I think I'm obviously a bit biased. Isaac Gifting will probably win the MX2.
Yeah.
I've been doing a bit with Isaac as well. He's a lovely lad. Obviously, he's had to when Hitachi stopped, he's had a bit of a hard time to get himself sorted and stuff. So Isaac's coming over on Friday, ready for Ling. I think he's going to be the favourite. You never know what can happen, but he's definitely the favourite. The MX one, little bit more, more depth in that probably. But all being well, Conrad rides like he does, I think he's probably got control of that. Tommy had, there's a number of them that can win, but Tommy obviously had a DNF at the last round. He's coming back from injury. Harry Koulas, I think everyone underrates him a little bit sometimes. He can pull it out of the bag when he wants. Very consistent, always there. But I think if Conrad rides like he can, which, like I said, I was with him today, and he was riding well. He should be one of the top ones, I would say. So them two. GP wise, more difficult again. I still sort of got my money on Hurlings a little bit coming back when he gets into his groove a little bit more. MX2 is very difficult because there was a number of guys that were showing good speed in Italy, but I think maybe Gertz has just got the edge this year. He should do. He's tried for many years, hasn't he? So yeah, we'll see. You never know. There's always someone shocks the sort of motocross world. But
see, Steph, I just actually did speak to him the other day on a message, and I said about Liam, because I was trying to get an interview with Liam on a live, and I see he got second the other day, so he's obviously getting about where they want him. Looks like it's going to probably continue the trend at some point, I reckon, the next year or two, probably.
I think so. He's obviously got the factory ride now, so that helps him no end. A lot of pressure on that kid from when he was born, really. But he is a really nice kid. I get on quite well with him. He'd stop and chat to you, whenever. And I often send him a message here or there, and he replies, which is nice. I don't expect to reply, but he definitely replies. And I think it's only a matter of time before he sort of wins one at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Adam Winslet, my buddy, he just put, what do you think of Hawkstone now compared to 20 years ago?
Well, I'm watching on the other side of the fence now, so that's the first.
Yeah, exactly.
The first difference. I think there's a lot of people say this. I mean, Hawkstone is not as deep as it used to be. There's no question about that. The track, it's had a lot of, a lot of bikes going around it over the years. I still think it's a great track. I think we should be there as much as we can be there. It's the history of the British motocross is there, isn't it? But I think the track itself, like any track, whether it's Fox Hills or it takes its toll on it, and you have to revamp it and change it up. And the bikes are different nowadays, So I think the first thing that comes to mind is it's not as deep as it used to be, even from when I started racing there. The first time I was there was actually, I think, about 1989 on a 65. I think they had the AC finals there. They definitely had the finals there in 99 because I remember that one.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be a lot. Be good to go with the British Championship there this year. Looking forward to that one. Should be good. Steve Humphrey has just put, I lined up next to Stephen at our local West Meon track. Think he won.
Yeah, I know the track. I know what he's on about. That was like a 2000 February race, club race. I think I was just looking for somewhere to ride and race. Yeah, it was a nice little track, and I think I did win. Yeah, but I don't remember lining up next to you, Steve. Sorry.
Got Jacob here. Just put, what's your most favourite track around the world?
I think if we go on the British sort of in the UK,
Yep.
I've always sort of been a big fan of Fox Hills. I've always been a big fan of Canada Heights and Ling. I just think they're really good tracks.
Yeah.
And Hawkston. Around the world, I seem to get on really well with a lot of the Italian tracks, French tracks. So I haven't really got one particular track that I really, really like, but there's a good couple of the early Italian tracks that I like, and yeah, the French ones. I don't like Lommel, definitely not.
Bit too deep. Tim Chambers has put, wouldn't it be nice to race without those spine-breaking doubles, triple jumps? Tim wants the old
Yeah,
school,
I
see?
mean,
Good man.
I mean, yeah, it's all changed. But what do? You go with the times, and but there is an element of what he's saying is right, because you know we go to some of these tracks, or whether it's in the UK or whether it's a Grand Prix, and they've just got a blank canvas that's just flat. So what do you do to a flat track? You have to put jumps in to make it interesting. And but he's right. Like I was saying, there's so many good tracks, whether it's France or Italy, or there's a good track in Switzerland, Roggenburg, up and down hills, very, very natural tracks.
Is it
You know,
Payern? I
so
remember that one. I used to like that.
Payern, yeah,
Yeah,
I think they
Payern.
still have Swiss championship there. But yeah, I think it would be nice to see. You know, I don't think you're ever going to get the whole series changed, but it'd be good for it to come back to some nice natural tracks.
Yeah, definitely would. Not sure who that is because there's no name on it, but the legend Stephen gave me his shirt. By the way, you spelled the name wrong. Not having that. Gave me his race jersey when I was a young lad at the Brit GP at the Isle of Wight. Still have it in my bar to this day. Nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't remember that one, but yeah, if I could give shirts away, I used to, yeah, just give them away as much as I could. But again, I do get some people send me pictures through on the phone of the shirts up, or someone that's got a replica bike or something like that, or someone asking, "Is this your old bike?" And when I say it's not, I think I've just burst their bubble. But there's so many bikes going around, and some of them, I don't know if they're mine or not. Like, they've got the graphics on, they've got suspension, but I wouldn't know myself, to be honest, because unless you know exactly where it came from, you never know who's saying what about it.
That's Jason Kalinsky that just said that. I'm just looking at my phone now because it don't come up registered on there. So that was Jason Kalinsky. So he's got some good memories. He's also asked you, what was your thoughts on the track at Langrish? I watched you there many times.
Yeah, no, really good. Again, a bit old school track, and the atmosphere was always good. The prize money was always good, and the trophy was always one that you wanted to win. Like, there's many of top riders, GP riders, won the Ken Hall Trophy, and it was a different atmosphere because you had the sidecars there as well. I think they had the sidecar Grand Prix actually on the bank holiday.
Yeah, you said that. I think that was, yeah.
So the solos was like the support race, but again, they used to get a lot of good Grand Prix riders there, and the track was great because I enjoyed those kind of tracks that were hard pack, and yeah, you had to sort of ride with the right tire on, sort of enduro tire. If you went back to that picture of me, Coppins, and that suit on the line, I've got like a real hard pack tire on the rear.
Still got rid of it now. Oh, Sordy. He didn't put the 50p lit in the internet. I know exactly what he's done. Because I said to him before he come on, I goes, don't forget to put the charger in. I goes, I expect that iPad will run out of juice real quick. But I know, oh, he's come back on. Maybe he didn't run out of juice. I thought,
No,
is that the
happened.
battery? I was
No,
going
I
to say,
thought
is
you
that the
just cut
battery?
me
I was
off.
like, literally.
No,
I don't know.
I got
That's weird.
98%.
Oh, so you still, oh, yeah, that's right. You did remember that then. Good man. Good man. Yeah, someone's just said about, Ian's just put about that Gore Basin. Everyone liked the Isle of Wight, didn't they? That a lot of the guys like that. Didn't last long
Yeah,
though, did it?
Stefan Everett didn't like it though. If you ask Stefan, he didn't like
Did
it.
he? Didn't he?
No, but it was a great track, and the lay of the land and everything was all geared up for being a motocross track. Yeah, we done a British Championship there, and then the 2 Grand Prix, didn't we? I think, or did we do 2 British? It was good. I mean, again, fantastic track and great to have a Grand Prix there. But yeah, I guess it's not there anymore. I don't know anything about it.
No, I don't know why it didn't go back there anymore, but I knew quite a lot of the riders said they liked it, I remember. What's James put here? James Stanton. A lot of the guys have put good questions in. They don't need to get mine out, really. What was your favourite race team and what was your best bike during your career?
I think the race team, again, different for different reasons, not just one. Because I think being involved with the churches and the whole GCV, and then going back again with the Molson, that the start of that was all great for me with the MG Church Holt GCV team. So that was a good environment. Taught me a lot about being away from home, and you know, I lived with a family for a little bit, as everybody knows. So that team was good, and then obviously I went off to some other teams, Honda, and the De Groot was probably one of the most professional teams that I got involved with, and everything that went along with that, with the testing in Japan and stuff, was a big eye opener for me when we went to Japan testing for 2 weeks, and it was just all new, and I was again having another teammate like Mikel Maschio. He was a really nice guy. I learned a lot of him. He was a world champion at that time as well, so
yeah.
I was fortunate to be involved with some good riders to have as teammates. And then after that, the Molson, going back to Molson or MJ Church, if you like, the team that I was involved with for many times, they'd stepped it up, and what they brought that team to was pretty much the factory MX2 Kawasaki team. And the investment that went in and the riders that they had was great. And in 2008, I had a really good year. I was just unfortunate that I separated my shoulder at one of the rounds, because I'm pretty sure it's not. You can't say it would have happened, but I'm pretty sure I'd have finished top 5 in the world that year, and you know, potentially won the British Championship. I lost the British Championship but again, not taking anything away from Sean Simpson because he won it, but just separating my shoulder and having 3 or 4 bad weeks made the end result of that year. I finished second in the British and 8th in the world. So, you know, that was a great, and that bike was probably the best bike I've ridden. That 250F from Molson. The suspension, everything was good. The engine was a really, really good engine, and it was only getting better as well. And then the team stopped. You know, Mike said the team's not going to carry on anymore. I remember him telling me now. I just won both the races at Fox Hills British Championship. You know, with a big smile on my face, and he said he'd pulled me around the back of the van, and he said, "Look," he said, "I don't want to spoil your day, but he said this team's not continuing anymore after this year, after the last GP, and that was it." He didn't say it as bluntly as that, you know. And I said, "Look, yeah, everything just went out of me, because I thought, well, we got to carry on. We're so much geared up for another year in the Grand Prix."
Yeah.
But it was at that time where, you know, everything was coming difficult with the recession or whatever, credit crunch, whatever it was happening.
Yeah.
And Mike, had a big business to run. Kawasaki, how much were they putting into it? I don't know. So he made that decision to stop. I know he didn't want to stop because, he just didn't want to stop. But it had to stop, and that's what happened. But that bike was the best bike probably for me that I'd ridden.
Was it?
Just because, because it was so easy and nice to ride, and nice power, but very close to the De Groot bikes. But it was a good bike, very good bike. Mike's still got the bike actually.
Has he? He's still got it?
Yeah, he's still got it.
Nice.
Yeah, full bike.
You won't. I can't see him selling that before you ask, Mr. Briggs.
No, he won't sell it. No.
Nicky Watts mentioned about, do you swing a leg over? But when was the actual last time you had a go on a bike then, Saldy? Is it recent?
Well, Farley, pretty much.
Was it?
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't just.
Is it stuck throttle, wasn't it? Was that the story?
Yeah,
the throttle?
yeah.
So,
pretty much. That's what happened.
Yeah,
and then
that's crazy. Man. Typical.
Yeah. It's not because I don't want to really. I mean, I sort of, I need to find the time, and I will do a bit more riding at some point for fun, and probably do it with some of the kids' schools, training days and stuff. And
good
like I said, there's a lot of like people in my generation or even a little bit older that would probably appreciate me riding a little bit around with them at times, which I need to sort of realize that and and I think I will start enjoying it as well when I ride. There was a few years where I just didn't even want to get on a bike, to be honest. When I stopped, I really did not want to get on a bike. Still watched it all, still, just didn't want to get on a bike really. But yeah, I do. I will enjoy it, and if anything, it's a bit of fitness as well.
So, it's easy to get away from you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know what it was like, right? Got that's a good one. Martin's just put which kit was your favourite? O'Neill, Pro Grip, or Fox? Had a few nice ones, didn't you?
He's got most of it, I think. He's got all the
kit. Actually, I'm pretty sure he has.
Definitely not the Pro Grip. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. But it was nice kit, don't get me wrong, nice people. Got plenty of kit, and it was, specially made, and it was, the shirts were nice, printed in and stuff. O'Neill was very good at the time. They were good to me. Nice kit, got plenty of it. Good contract with them. And then Fox, like you can't really mind with Fox, can you? It was really nice.
It was nice.
They looked after me well. Yeah, they looked after me really well. They still sort of look after me a little bit now. To be fair, though.
Oh, do they?
That's cool. If I get on a bike, I would imagine I'll have Fox kit on.
That'd be a trick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's Fox Hills. That's the same day that after that race. Yeah, that was the day it all stopped.
Jesus.
But yeah.
So they obviously didn't have any clue at that at all. So that was obviously a bit of a shock then.
Not really. No, it wasn't. I didn't really have it. No, no, it come very quickly. So.
She didn't have no clue. When I got Mr. Cole Belfield. Hi, Cole. He's coming to reunion as well. Another good rider, lightning out the gate, that man, Pocket Rocket. He's put, hi guys, I was told years after quitting motocross that I broke Stephen's finger with a rock from my back wheel. Is this true? I also much respect to you, both of you.
Very true. It is 100% true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where it happened as well. I'll show you my finger as well.
Oh shit.
It's not that one, by the way. It was at Torrington.
Yeah.
I want to say
Devon.
97, 98, something like that.
Yeah.
He always used to get very, very good starts. It might even have been at an under 21, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think I was second out the gate, and then you go up one hill, and there's rock coming. It hit me straight in the finger. I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's what I can't see myself. Yeah, so yeah, I rode the rest of the day with it. It was fine. But yeah, he did break my finger. So
Bloody Belfield. Even went and had a little tinkle at Speedway as well. Did you ever have a go at Speedway at all, Steve? Did you
no,
ever?
I didn't. I would have liked to have had a little go. I did
Hmm.
think it was meant to happen at some point up at Swindon. I was going to have a blast round up there.
Hello, great track.
But I never did. And
Hmm.
it probably won't happen now either. So no, I haven't.
Should we organise a slide day, as it were?
Yeah,
Get a
it's the
few
right
boys.
side for me as well. It's my good knee, that side.
Ah, right. Okay. Yes, that's
So
good for the
if it
old
was the
getting
other
those.
side, it'd be difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, to put your leg out. Yeah, with the old steel shoe on it. Yes. If you could go back in time, is there any riders you would have loved to race against?
In time. I don't know really. I mean, like I said, I was very much growing up 1985 to 1990,
Mm,
like those years of 500 days.
mm,
You know, the Malherbs, the Thorpes, the Jobs. That was
mm.
although that was what my dad would have been. That was what I think everybody sort of watched back then, and
Yeah,
yeah, maybe to go back to that era and ride a little bit.
mm, mm.
Although after my last performance on the 500, it's probably not good for me to go back to that era.
Yeah, reminiscent of
Yeah,
Farley.
but yeah, that was great, and the crowd, and we went to Farley Castle in 1985.
Mm,
I remember we drove down there. We stayed in a little B&B. The door fell off the bed breakfast room. I just remember that happening. I got Case van der Ven's number 5 bib, because I was number 5 at that point. Camel
yeah,
bib.
yeah.
I don't know where that is now.
All right.
Yeah, he was number 5 on the KTM. But yeah, that was my sort of era. So I'll maybe go back to those and try and see what it would be like.
Jesus, Martin will be messaging you in a minute, going, you sure you don't know where that bib is?
He probably has. I'll just check my phone.
Yeah, he probably already has.
Yeah.
He loves it, that man. And Damien said you're a liar. He said, I saw you on a 65 a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, ripping my arms out.
Bloody things go flying rapid. I remember they were rapid like back then, weren't they? The old 60s. I had to
Yeah.
go on my brother's once.
Oh,
It was like
they're
shit,
all or
6 gears.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they flew, did they? That's a good question, James, as well. He's just put, did you ever consider or get offered anything in the USA? Did you ever think about going over there in any way?
Well, someone asked me this question a couple of days ago, and the ones that have
Oh, did
asked
they?
me the question will know what I'm going to say now. But
Yeah,
I used to go over from about 2001
yeah,
to 2004 or 5.
yeah,
I went over in January every year to ride just for 4 weeks,
yeah,
which was great. And the first year I went, I had to sort out the Husqvarna from Husky America, and at that point, Coyote was in America riding the Husqvarna, and it was Fast by Faraci, big rig, factory Husqvarna team. Travis Preston rode for them. Chris Gosler rode for them. Someone else, but they were up the front. I think Preston won a couple of main events on the Husky out there.
mhm,
So I would collect my bike, and they said, whatever you need, just come back and we'll sort you out. And I think I blew the bike up one day, so I took it back. They rebuilt the engine, put a new piston in. And, I would always be on the outdoor tracks. I would never ride the Supercross tracks because I wasn't there from that. But a couple of the tracks would have an outdoor. They would be on the Supercross and I would be on the outdoor. And then at the end of the day, I think I went over there and just had a chat with them, and they were like, "Yeah, how's it going? No worries." And he said, "How are you any good at Supercross?" And I said, "Well, I won the Arena Cross. Well, I won the Supercross Championship back in the UK that year."
yeah,
And I said, "Well, I won that." I said, "But it's probably a bit different from this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, no, you must be pretty good." And he said, "You don't fancy riding Anaheim at the weekend, do you?" And I thought he was
Shit.
joking to start with. I said, so I started laughing, I think. I said, and he said, "No, seriously, one of our riders are injured and we need another rider in there." I said, he said, "We'll pay you, and you'll probably you'll do better than you think." And I was thinking, oh, he's just trying to talk me into this. And anyway, I said, "Look, I said I'm not here to do Supercross, and if I go upside down and something happens, it sort of ruins my whole outdoor career." But he asked the question, but it never happened. I didn't even ride a Supercross track when I was out there. And then the year after, I went again, and there was a Honda team. I think it was called Planet Honda or something. They sort of offered me a deal to go there. But I never had any sort of ambition to go there, really. And
Yeah.
I always had the GPs on my mind. But if you ask me the same question now, I think
Yeah.
there's probably a lot more people that probably need to think about maybe going to America, especially if you can do Supercross. But yeah, I didn't have any sort of no aspirations to go there.
Max is doing well again now, and he's gone back down to the smaller bike and.
Yeah, very well.
Right.
Did he end
Yeah,
up
he's doing
third
well.
in the championship? Did he?
He's doing well, isn't
Yeah, yeah, he's done really, really well.
he? Yeah, doing really well.
So, but he's good at that. He's sort of he was brought up on that from a young age.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely likes that bit. Talking about BSMA legends, everyone was saying some of the best BSMA riders of all time. This man's definitely got to be up there, Mr. Stephen Holmes. I think he won about 4 or 5 BSMA finals, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was good.
Yeah.
Honda rider when he bridged in Silklane Honda.
Yeah.
I met Steve. I think I met him at Fox Hills with Chris Cowley one day.
Yeah, they were, because I saw him. Yeah.
Again, they're fast kids.
Yeah, Cowley was. Yeah.
Yeah, very fast. He used to give Nunny a run for his money, didn't he?
Yeah, when they were younger. Yeah, I preferred Cowley when he was a bit older, because he wouldn't like that anymore. So it was all right.
Yeah.
I was just to make him laugh. He had this tune the shit out of his race spec Hondas and all that, and then I used to say to him, Jesus, you would see him in the edge.
Yeah. No, he was good riders.
Yeah, good riders. They were a lot of good Welsh boys, isn't there? It was always, well, as you know, that's all we raced a lot of Welsh boys, didn't we?
Yeah.
They're always quick, always nuts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trying to understand them at that age, I remember just keep nodding. That's embarrassing. I don't have no idea. My parents talking to me, I'm like, no idea. They're top lads, yeah. And Stephen's coming down to the reunion, so it'd be cool to see him as well. What's Mr. Kyle Hartwell? How's you going, Kyle? He's coming down to reunion. He's put Hailey and Stephen. I presume that means remember. A lot of predictive text going on there. Do you remember the something Supercross?
Yeah. I know what he's on about.
Used to go there, and Charlie Hollis. Yeah, remember Charlie rode with him, but there was always a good bunch of the British going. What was your best result there? It was a great event. What are we talking about there?
That was in Holland. I went there twice. Yeah. It's actually pronounced goose, or not goose, but it's goes or goose. Goose. Really nice little sort of Dutch Supercross. Used to get a few go there. Deruva would go there, or Steve Ramon, or some fast Dutch kids. We went again, not expecting. Again, it was with churches. We were going there with MG Church and me, Tom, and Mark. And that was our first experience of whoops, really, because I think Mike built us some whoops at the back of the house, which were nothing like the whoops when we got there. We got there and they were rolled in, and it was like Anaheim 1, and I'm thinking, I don't even think we changed our suspension. Maybe went kick harder on the clickers. And I remember, and he will laugh if he hears me saying it. I remember going through the whoops, and we just thought, you just got to pin the whoop. Surely you just got to pin it, and that's it. So I pinned the whoops and got about 3/4 of the way down, and it just started to go then, and I just let the bike go at the end of it. It flipped right back. The subframe came off. I think it actually went into
No way.
the spectator as a subframe. So I've done that
Shit.
once. I think I'd done it again in the next practice,
Did
and
you?
we were running out of parts. We had no
No
parts
way.
left.
Shit.
And I remember them saying, we've got no subframes left anymore. So we decided to go back to just like doubling in, just get through the week for the night. I think I finished 5th or 6th, which was
That's
all right at that
yeah.
time.
All right, yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
That was an
You had
experience
that.
then.
You had another head case there, Marco Stolman. You remember him?
Oh yeah, Stallman. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Remember
could go through the whoops fast. He was a Dutch guy. Yeah, he was good at Supercross.
Stallman. Yeah, I remember him. Martin's got a shirt of him, I expect, as well.
Yeah.
Ought to have. He's already wrote on here. I don't know what he's put. Hi, Saudi. I have just messaged you. Yeah, I've got that bib also. That
It's
man
past
loves
his
it. He loves
bedtime.
it.
He should be in bed.
Yeah. You got to get on that roof tomorrow, Marty.
He sent me a picture now. What's he sent here?
What's that? Is it a bib? He's talking about a bib or something.
Oh yeah,
Bib's he
here you
got?
go. I've got to hold this up. He said, "Show
Yeah,
Lee."
yeah.
I've got to hold this up to you.
Go on out.
Where am I going?
Yeah, the other way. That's it. The other way. Yeah.
That it?
Yeah. That's all the Western ones, I think, isn't it? I think he showed me these.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He owns more than Camel did.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think is that the ones, Marty, that you said of it is like Greg Hansen's, all them guys. I'm sure he said it was the beach race.
Yeah. He's
He's
got a number 5. That's his lowest number.
You sending that to Saudi then, are you? Farley 87, sorry. Oh, right, because one of them, he showed me some loads of Western Beach ones he had, but that's Farley 87, apparently. That's pretty cool. That is good. I like it. That is good. Who was that who wrote that? Because I can't see the name. Let's have a look. Who wrote that? Stu Marlowe has put 1989 to 92, the best schoolboy racers were Stephen Sword and Tony Marshall. I speak to Tony sometimes on the old WhatsApp. Who else sticks out in your mind? Talked a bit
Well,
about
he's
him.
right. There's Tony. I'm still good friends with Tony. I haven't spoken to him for a while, but he was a great schoolboy.
Yeah.
You had him. You had Austin Kemp. You had.
Did he become a stunt guy? Was that him? Was that him?
Austin Kemp, maybe. Lee Morrison.
No, sorry, Lee Morrison
Yeah.
was a stunt guy. Yeah,
Lee
sorry.
Morrison.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people. There's probably you could mention 20 people here, 20 riders.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Who else was there? You had Craig Prattley was a really good schoolboy rider and a good adult rider, to be fair. Craig was good at schoolboys on the Kajiva. Austin Kemp, Carl Nunn. You know, Nunny was definitely in there.
Special,
yeah, very. Who else? I'm going to miss some people here that I should really say.
They're going to be ousting us out after.
Yeah, well, why didn't you mention me?
You didn't mention Sergio. You won loads. I was like,
but you had like,
Glenn Phillips was always good.
Glenn Phillips. You had Glenn. You had, but he wouldn't have been 1989, would he?
No,
he's a bit young.
Actually. He said 89 to 92. Yeah, I was going off years then.
89 to 92. Glenn probably would have been 92. He'd have been on the 60.
Yeah,
he'd have been on the 60.
Yeah. 60s. But he won all the way through, I think, pretty much.
Yeah, and you had, you had the Stephen Holmes and that, didn't you? Kelly Swanson, Nathan Shelton.
Kelly Swanson, yeah.
Justin
Morris. Dean Batchelor was good as well then.
Dean Batchelor, yeah. He'll maybe text me now because he messages me quite a bit.
Yeah, he's coming to the reunion again as well. He's got some bikes, that man, as well. He's got about 4 or 5 of those Mugen Hondas and all that.
Yeah, he's got some nice bikes, definitely.
Yeah. Cool, yes, yeah.
I'll tell you who's a rider going back to BSMA, who always sticks out for me a little bit. It was Matthew Nelms.
Yes, raced him quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good lad.
I pissed him off in 98 when I won the BSMA.
Yeah.
He called me the skinny kid from Wiltshire, and I thought, I'll take that. I mean, as long as I won.
Yeah. he was good at
but he was
Maysmore,
like you said, he was quick. Yeah, Jesus, they love that up there, and they in Liddingtons and all them on the old race specs and all that. And I think Nandy
Yeah.
was on the Quacker. He was good. I remember him good at Fox Hill that year. You won the seniors. I think he did well on the expert.
He might have won it, did he?
I think it was Barry Morris in the end
Oh, right.
on the
Yeah.
Honda. They had a Bridgestone Honda team. I think him in Woodford, Leon
That's
Woodford.
him in Woodford, yeah. And Glenn would have been on the
Yeah,
85.
yeah, that's it. And I think that was the one Churchy won the hundreds. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was his first one he won. Good days, eh?
Yeah, it were good days.
Those
Actually,
good days, mate.
that picture you had of me on that jump,
Yeah.
that double jump, I landed on someone on the landing of that jump.
Did you?
So yeah, I landed on Finbar Neefsey's dad, Pat Neefsey.
Oh yeah, I knew
So there
Finbar,
was
yeah.
a fallen rider off. This gets
Yeah.
better. No one
Oh
got
shit.
hurt. It was fine. But
That's good.
so the marshal never put the flag out. So I just
Oh my
jumped the
god.
jump. But
Yeah.
the marshal was my mother.
Oh, was it?
My mum was marshalling. So she was obviously looking at me coming,
Yeah.
you know,
Watching, not looking
watching
the other way.
me, and then I landed on him.
Oh shit.
And he was fine, but I obviously didn't win that race, and that sort of I didn't win every race. Then I ruined my maximum because I remember Pat coming to me and apologizing. He said, "I'm sorry, I've ruined your maximum." I was like, "Don't worry about it." I mean, I went back to the camper and I went back to Finbar. I said, "I've just landed on your dad." Finbar's mum was going nuts. She thought I'd like really hurt him. And with that,
Yeah.
Pat comes walking around the corner. Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus, so it's your mum. That's brilliant.
yeah, it was my mother. Yeah,
Oh god. Classic that is. Someone's just mentioned, yeah, as well, him. Someone's Sony Me Harris. How you doing, Sony? He's put
Ryan
Ryan Vose,
Bowes.
yeah, he's another one.
Yeah, Carl Harris. Yeah, I knew there'd be
Yeah,
some.
Carl
I
Harris,
mean,
yeah. Bloody hell, bless him.
he was. Yeah, he probably had the better of me in the 80s. He was fast,
Mm,
Carl Harris.
nice.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
Honda,
good.
wasn't he then? Honda then, I think.
He was on a Honda, yeah, and then he went on a
Yeah.
Suzuki.
Yeah. Bloody mental, wasn't it, when it happened to him? He was that was at the TT, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was there that
Crazy.
year actually.
Was
I
you?
was there. Yeah, I was there.
Bloody
I
hell.
didn't. Obviously, it was up on the mountain where it happened, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think.
Mad
Yeah, I
place.
think what made it a little bit spooky was I'd been speaking to him the day before there as well,
Did you?
and then the next day that happened, and it's just you just never know what's around the corner there. Just
Oh, no, mate.
no, it was
Yeah.
sort of quite eerie. Puts a bit of a
Mm.
yeah, yeah, puts it all in its perspective
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it does, mate. Casey Jones. Hi, Casey. Hope you're good, buddy. He's put hi, Lee. I remember the Sword family was kind enough to let us stay at their house during the schoolboy days, and we had all raced Desert Martin then back. Remember Brampton as well, yeah. His local track.
Yeah, that's it. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. People used to stop in if it was that and fill up with water normally. Yeah,
Today.
stop over in the front yard and just park the vans up. I don't know what people in the village thought. We used to stuff campers
Yeah,
in there all the time.
what are they doing in there?
Well, it was a small village. They sort of knew what I was doing,
Knew what you were doing,
and
yeah.
but yeah, it was great. Those days were good.
Got Adrian Jessop's mentioned about the CCM. Memories of CCM, mixed emotions, I guess. So much potential. I really enjoyed those times, sort of, with being involved in a small way. Enjoyed riding the CCM 450 at Apex and supporting you the best I could at the races. You should have won the British that year.
Yeah, Adrian was
Did
he
he
was
help?
involved with the chassis and the everything to do with that side of it all, um,
Is that
and
the bike?
worked hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was I wouldn't say it was good on every track.
Mm,
Um, but it was I found it all right. The engine was a Yamaha, obviously.
mm,
It was the older Yamaha engine with a carburetor, which the engine was spot on. The power was
was it?
really nice.
Was it?
Great out of the start.
Mm,
Chassis wise, it definitely wasn't the best.
mm,
And they were still developing it, and I think they gave it a go. The intention was there to get it all right, and I think I was unfortunate not to win the British. I mean, I was up
mm.
against Bobrashev, who was going well, and he was winning Grand Prix that year as well.
Mm.
But we always had a good battle at the British Championship. And actually, the last round didn't happen because they cancelled it at Hawkston Park. And I was 21 points behind or something like that. The chances of me winning it were slim because all he had to do was finish behind me. But it sort of, it was good, and I won a couple of overalls, and it was it would have been nice to win the championship because it was a British based team, and the history with CCM and stuff. Austin was, he was over the moon with how it was all going. And when I won at Farley, that was the first time CCM had won a British Championship overall in so many years, and it brought a lot back to him, so it was a nice thing to be part of. Very much always developing. Tom Churchy was probably more a developer than me. He was always trying different things, and he was there a few years before I got there, so he'd probably seen some of the the things that went the years before, the work it took to get to that point. But it was good people, and I think if you're in a good crowd of good people and that are trying to do well, it's not so bad, is it?
And then Ian Chessman's, will the new Triumph just be another CCM stroke Aprilia, maybe?
I don't think so. I think Triumph will I don't think it will. I mean, they've got a Grand Prix team coming out very soon, next year, and obviously in America they're coming out. I can't imagine that they're going to make something that's not going to be, not going to be. I'm not saying it'll be at the front, but they've got a lot of people in place to make it good. I know Carmichael's involved, and then they've got some.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sees Clement Lassalle's a test rider over here in Europe, so they're going to be throwing enough at it to get it right. I would say, yeah.
I was going to ask you about obviously your role now. Obviously, the role you've been doing. Have you sort of enjoyed that? How did it come about to get into that then? To help the team? And...
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the team stopped now, which is unfortunate. And just to touch on that a bit, it was unfortunate that Roger had to stop the team basically because of funding. One sponsor pulls out, and it sort of that ends there. But it started really part-time with Conrad to begin with, because I bumped into Conrad at the British Grand Prix in 2000 and it must have been 18. I bumped into him in a restaurant, him and his dad and his family, and I had my two kids there at the time. And we just got chatting, and a couple of weeks later his dad rang me up and he said, look, how would you fancy maybe doing something with Conrad? He was at a point where he sort of he needed a little bit of guidance or help, and we had a chat about it all, and then I sort of come to some races, and he won the first race I went to, and he was winning the next one. Then he broke, before we got to a Grand Prix, he broke his wrist. So that sort of put that on hold. But then going into that winter, I got involved with the team then, and the team employed me to sort of help him and Bas Fasten at the time. And it sort of went from there, and it grew for a few years. I had some really good times with them all there. I had a bit of a luxury job, if you like. There's some hard-working boys there with the mechanics, and they were living in Belgium. But I try to try and rub off a bit on what what you've seen. From what I've learned from people in the past, I think there's part of me feels like I need to tell some. All the times are changing. There's a lot still there that's the same mindsets and the same. The same sort of ways about things. But I sort of was very much with Conrad to start with, and with him closely. Really, I wouldn't say day to day, but it was pretty intense for a couple of years. But it worked for him, and
Mhm.
I didn't need to tell him how to ride. You don't need to tell him how to ride a bike because he can ride a bike really well.
Mm,
It was a little bit more the psychological side, or
mm,
having someone, to bring the best out of him.
mm,
I think he had a good year where he had finished eighth in the world. I think that was you've seen a lot of good in him there.
mm. Well, yeah.
And then I stayed then when last year with Isaac and Kai
Yeah.
Kazmafis. And again, really good young riders, get on well with them now. They're always texting me. Isaac I'm still quite heavily involved with him a bit.
Mhm.
He leans on me a little bit every now and then, just to see everybody needs to be told if they're doing good or not doing good, or
Mm,
is this the right way? Is that the right way? I think at that level, it's the next bit to get right if you want to be at the top of the game. So that's the bit I enjoy, and then but I
mm,
also enjoy coaching the young lads and people that can't really ride at all or just starting to
mm,
ride. Or but there's for me, I think there's always that bit of racer in me that needs to be at some of the races just to um, get that feeling. I don't race anymore, and the
mm,
closest thing for me is to be at a race and have an input in someone. Doesn't even mean to be that they need to be winning a Grand Prix,
mm,
but I get a lot of a good feeling from that,
mm,
and I think it's very, very difficult for for a rider that's raced all his life, done Grand Prix, to be cut completely off from it. There's
mm.
there's a period there where it's not that great for you because there's no feeling like it. You could
Mm.
win the lottery and the feeling won't be the same.
Yeah, same buzz.
You
Yeah.
know, it'd be nice to win the lottery though, but it wouldn't be the same.
No,
And nothing can replicate it, and nothing has since.
no.
But the closest thing to it all now for me, um,
Yeah.
second to the family, and this is another reason why I think I want to start doing what I'm doing now, is because I'd love to be away at the Grand Prix, but I can't be away all the time.
Yeah.
I want to be at, the kids are only small ones, and
Yeah.
um, I want to be able to manage it back here, and but still have a nice little input with a selected few, without it
Mm,
being too stressful that way.
yeah. I get what you're saying there. Yeah. Had a few battles with that man as well. Didn't you?
Yeah, Brad, that's the Ken Hall trophy actually. I did
All
win that
brass. Yeah.
day. Yeah. Yeah, Brad's sound. He's a trier, isn't he? I'm sorry to hear
Mm.
it. His boys broke his leg as well.
I actually just did see that as well, literally today.
Yeah, I
Before I come
saw the
on.
picture.
Bloody
It's
hell.
bloody
I'll give him a
nasty,
message as well.
nasty one, but yeah, Brad's done great, and he's sort of outdone me in riding till he's 40 years old. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that amount of riding that he done.
No.
And he found his niche, didn't he? Like he knew what he was good at. He knew he gave it his all, and he done it his own way, which I think's another good one to have around. Like he'd be well known. He had a lot of fans, a lot of people enjoyed watching him. So yeah, it was good. He's got the
Got
number one on there as well.
yeah, C's running the number one there as well. What were the old Suzuki's like when you went? Remember you at Suzuki as well. What was that like?
Yeah, I didn't get on well with Suzuki in '96, and I didn't really get on well with
Right.
Suzuki that year. Although, to be honest, the bike wasn't that bad.
Wasn't
The engine was great, like pretty much stock engine. I rode a stock engine. Anything else was too fast. But it was just the chassis, not so much the forks and shot. The chassis was very rigid. Um, that would have been 2012. I never, I had some decent rides on it, and then I broke my
Mm,
collarbone, which really put a dampener on the year. But I never felt like I really got in a good groove on that bike. I had some good ones, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't, you never really saw the best of me on that bike.
mm. Did you have any weird and wonderful superstitions?
Not really, no.
No.
I never really thought about anything like that, putting gloves on first um, but when I was with Molson and Gautier Paulin was was my teammate. He was just starting out, number 21, Axel kit, Hugo the pink kit. Jackie Vimon was his mentor, helping him. But Gautier would have been 17, 18, maybe at that point. He was fast, good teammate again, and he was like always trying to learn from me a little bit. At that point, he obviously went on, and then everybody knows how good a rider he was. But he come out. We used to get changed in the back of the truck, and he come out with it one day. He said, "You always put your left knee brace on first." I said, "Do I?" He said, "Yeah, I've been watching what you do for many weeks." And he'd been watching me get dressed. And
yeah.
his attention to detail was quite like he was always like to look good and very smart, and he'd very sort of think about everything he was doing. And so the next week, I think I put the right one on first. See if he was watching. Yeah.
What did he say anything?
No, he didn't notice.
Oh, he didn't notice.
I did tell him, but I think you get in the little habits of doing these things. But I never really got into that. Like, I'm not doing this because I'm scared of that, or didn't really drop my helmet if it was a new helmet, anything like that. No, didn't.
No. I better give this one. There's Frankie Pete here has just put, my bro is itching for a mention if you remember him, and best advice for an auto rider.
Can you hear me or not?
Yep, I can hear you now. Just
the AirPods are gone. What'll happen then when they
go?
It'll just go onto the iPad.
Yeah. As if you got it like Bluetooth to it, I would imagine, have you?
Yeah.
Might just have to turn that off. If they go like battery wise, you just turn that off and you should be able to hear you. Can you hear me? Like,
yeah, I can hear you now. I might charge one up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, Frank, I saw this one come up and then I thought it went, and I nearly mentioned it, but you sort of got chatting. But yeah, I used to race with his brother, Terry Pete. Went and stayed with them, and he won't know this, but he was a baby at the time, and I think I might even gave him his bottle. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, but he was still on a bottle of milk when we were staying there. But lovely family from the London area. And then I remember going up the Thames on their grandparents' boat for a day or two at the summer holidays. But yeah, really good family. Nice. I met him. I think I saw him at Canada Heights. Yeah, I haven't seen his brother for a long time, but it'd be nice to see him at some point. Best advice for an auto rider? I don't know. It's difficult because never had autos when I was riding. It was like I went straight into the 60s. The autos came a couple of years after me. There wasn't a race for the QR50s or anything like that. Not when I was starting.
I don't remember even.
But I don't know. You got to keep it fun, haven't you? You got to keep it fun and get out on the bike as much as you can. You know, if I think back to what I would have been like as an auto rider, I was going to sleep dreaming about motorbikes all the time. I think I still go to sleep dreaming about motorbikes now, but
same here.
I think you've just got to enjoy them sort of years and see how it goes. You know, see where it takes you. Again, it's so different these days. You know, so much pressure on the kids, whether it's even at school or whatever it is, whatever sport.
So a lot going on, isn't there?
You've gone now. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you just got to enjoy it, and I would imagine that family they will enjoy it, because I remember we used to park next to them at the races, and his mum and dad are bonkers. They'd be dancing around all night. Yeah, I remember it well.
Good memories with that then. Oh, here he is. Mr. Bradshaw's just come on. Neville Bradshaw. He's put, hi Nev, how's it going? He's put, Sordy, have you still got that $500 you took out of my pocket on the last turn of that Dash for Cash at Ken Hill Trophy?
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
That sounded a beauty though, wasn't it?
I've not got it anymore. That would have been well spent.
on the way
But
home.
yeah, sorry about that. I'll maybe buy you a beer or a drink or a coffee or whatever you want. And try and square it away that way.
Probably spent that on the fuel getting back to Scotland, didn't you?
No, I wasn't in Scotland at that point. No.
Is that when you was in the West Country and all that?
Yeah, that would have been. I was on the CCM. Where was I? Yeah, I would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Might have had some change then.
Hey, it's not bad.
That's cool.
500 quid though, is it? Like you'd like a few of them nowadays. That's the bit I miss as well.
Double brandy and we quits.
That'll do. I might get him a triple one if he wants.
I was gonna say, Jesus, I don't have to sniff that, lads, and I'll be. What was who was your idols when you were young then, Sordy? Did you have any idols at Grand Prix, Americans and all that when we always used to, get the old DBR mags out and all them and
Yeah, American wise, probably. I like Carmichael. I'm quite a big Carmichael fan, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a big Carmichael fan. I like McGrath. I like Wyndham. And then the GPs, I sort of, the 80s was the Thorpe era and the Malherbs and stuff, and then sort of the Albertine and Everett's. I enjoyed them days. And yeah, no different to anyone else. The same riders that most people would like in Europe. And then I think, if I think about sort of who sort of I've enjoyed racing with and stuff, and at Grand Prix level, it's going to be like the Townleys, the Rattrays, the Caroli. For me to say that I've raced with them and still can talk to them quite nicely on the phone or when I see them is a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
So Caroli's always got quite a lot of time for me when I see him. He doesn't have to come over, but he's busy. He's busy enough, but yeah, he always appreciates saying hello and stuff. So it's nice to see them. And even Stefan and that, there's a lot of people got a lot of time for you, and also people that have, whether it's old mechanics or there's the same people at the Grand Prix now. They're just older, so it was nice to reconnect with them a bit when I was back there.
I have to put a word in for Tony then for me to get trying.
Yeah,
it's all about the contacts, Sordy. It's all about the contacts.
Yeah. I mean, you never know with him if he's got time. He'll have time for people, but I'll see.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. I've actually might be getting Carmichael and McGrath soon as well, so a bit excited about that, as you can imagine.
Yeah, not as excited as Martin will be. He'll be
no,
asking
Jesus.
For
yeah, be messaging me the whole time I'm on. I'll be like, leave me on with the heroes, leave me. So, who were any good teammates and not so good teammates over the years?
No, I've not really had that. Awful. I've not really. What do you say? Sorry.
Churchy must have been awful.
No, me and Tom are fine.
Yeah.
We started bickering. I used to take him to school. That's what I keep reminding him. I used to drop him off at school.
Classic.
But yeah, never really had a run-in with anyone really.
No.
In the beginning, early days, it was the church, MG Church, Tom and Mark, and then Brownie, and then and then I was the sort of number one rider then at Albion, you could say. I mean, I know I didn't see it like that, but then you had Tom there, I had Matt Winstanley there. Tom was there for a couple of years, and then I went to the group with Maschio. He was good.
Yeah.
And then after that was Tano Leok. He was getting sound again.
Right, yeah.
And then when I went back to Molson, it was Swanepoel, Gautier. Tom was on the 450.
Yeah.
So now really good people, really. Never had a problem. Jake Nichols on the Hitachi KTM when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was sound, but no, not really. No stories ready to tell.
That's
No
good.
fisticuff.
No fisticuff. Yeah. Did you have any? Is there any sort of in any sort of regrets at all in your career that you look back now in hindsight? Any regrets at all in anything?
I don't think so. Not with like deals and stuff, because I was fortunate that I sort of was achieving things, and I was getting the deals, and I had good sponsors, and no, I don't regret anything. I mean, obviously, if you could go back and change a few things, you would, but that's the same for everyone, isn't it? Like, you would change a lot, but when you're there and you're given 100%, and you're just it's a little bit all in, things can happen, and whether it's injuries or you can't count for them, but I don't think I'd change much. I think I've probably learned a bit more about racing now. I'm not racing. Dealing with other people, and maybe thought to myself, well, I should have been a bit more like this when I was riding, or a lot more relaxed now in one way. The missus won't say I'm relaxed at the minute, but yeah. I'm a bit more relaxed when it comes to the motocross, and analyze it a lot more now.
I was just about to say the word analyze. Do you analyze it quite a bit now?
Analyze it a lot more, and again, I'm the one, like, whether it's Conrad or someone that's learning to ride, you're trying to get the best out of them, to put them in a good frame of mind, a good comfort zone, to do their best. So you've got to sort of you got to know how to talk to them a little bit, and you might have to just talk about something different, not about bikes, or break it all down. And I probably enjoy that more than actually telling them how to go around the track, to be honest, or because you can have a big effect, because at the top level, it's they can all ride bikes. It's the next bit is the mental side, or the
mental side.
And I just remember from learning what I learned over the years, whether it's about bike setup or about training, or what happens on the day, what you should be eating, or what you can get in a bit of a pickle with it all if you overthink it and overthink things. And I haven't got I haven't got a magic wand with all this, but if you could strip it all back a bit, make it a bit simple, a bit less complicated. There's too many options nowadays. There's too much at the touch of a button. There's too many people can get involved, and I think that can have an effect. Some people need it, some people don't, but I think if you get too many people involved, it's not good. I think you can overcomplicate it.
Yeah, too many opinions maybe, and it's not easy, is it? Families, and
No, it's not easy. That's the other thing. That's the big thing. It's not easy, and a lot of people forget that. It's easy for people to criticize, and sometimes you need to be criticized in the right way. But I think it's not easy, and I think that's what they need to be told as well. Sometimes it's not easy. Can't go well all the time.
This is a thought as well, because this is the thing now, isn't it? Everyone, he's put, Adrian's just put, I think a book is on the cards, or at least more podcasts, highs, lows, and fun. Ever thought of ever doing a book?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say no either. No, well, I've probably got a lot to tell, and I mean, I probably have got a lot to put down, whether it's racing, family, or whatever. Or, but I just need to have a think about it, really. Yeah.
Be something interesting. That'd be interesting. Could be something to get into. What do you think of the old electric bikes? And have you had a go on one of these? What do you think of them?
I haven't had a go on one yet. I've had a go on a Sur-Ron. That's the closest thing, and that's fast enough.
Yeah.
But I would like to have a go on one actually. That'd probably interest me more having a go on one of them than actually getting on a 500 again. Yeah. Thing is, if the throttle's stuck on that electric bike, you'd never hear me anyway, would you?
No.
Where's he gone? At least.
Yeah, where is he gone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Tortelli on the? I think is it Stark? I want to say Stark.
I saw him on Stark. I saw a few people on it, and it's got good reviews, and it's only a matter of time, isn't it? And it's the future. I mean, something will happen with it, even for the kids. Like even for the kids now. My brother's little boy, he's on one of the what are they called? Well, STASIC things. They'll all end up learning on that, and then they'll get on another one, and there'll be some sort of class, and they'll open up a few avenues, won't it? But yeah, I would hate to think it would it'll. You know, you need the bike, you need the noise.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there was one thing when the 4-strokes come out, everyone's sort of like, nah, this is not good. It's not 2 strokes. But if you take away the 4-strokes now, and it would just, it would be. I don't think it's going to take over, but I think it's coming. Well, it is coming, and I think it'll be a big part of, the young kids now's future in a way.
Yeah, probably will. Like you said, with tracks and not losing tracks, and you can pretty much ride them anywhere, I suppose, to a degree with no noise and all that as well. Could be, like you said, the future to keep it all going, I suppose.
They'll find something they want there to stop it all again. They say it's the noise, then they'll say something else that stops it.
Yeah, but still ripping it up a bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be just as powerful, don't they? These proper ones, they're like.
It'll be the batteries, won't it? It'll be the risk of all that next.
Yeah, be interesting, won't it? I'll ask you a couple more because I really appreciate your time, buddy. Plus, I know you had a long day as well, and I know you rushed in shower, so I appreciate that. Thank you, mate.
That's fine.
Hard one-ish. Who would you consider to be the 3 best riders that you've ever competed against in your career?
Yeah, it's a good one. I feel like I should say one of the BSMA riders here.
Yeah. Steady, they're all watching. They're like, come on, Sordy, see me then.
Yeah. I'll get a few texts. I'll wait for the text.
Yeah, exactly.
People texting me.
Any danger? No mention.
So Caroli's up there. He's definitely, because I really rate him as a rider, and I think he's done very, very well. Just to have been involved with him racing, and he said some nice things about me along the way as well, in some interviews and stuff. So I enjoyed those years racing with him and Townley, and they were good. Back in Britain, racing with Billy was good. Like I said, there was some really good battles, and from that point, I think we've probably done each other quite well. He wouldn't have admitted it at the time, because that was how he got himself wound up, and he got himself into race mode. That was how he was. I was a bit more laid back, but now he's more laid back than ever, I think. So
I seen him at the Matterley, and he was like, he was a proper free spirit, and I said to him, borderline hippie.
Yeah, I know, but again, there's all them sort of obvious ones, and then when you go to when you ride in the Motocross of Nations, then you ride with a few of the Americans. I lined up next to Carmichael at the Nations, or he lined up next to. I think I lined up next to him. He qualified. He out-qualified me, and he was on the 2. That's when in Zolder, when he sort of, I think he beat Everts there, didn't he? On the 250 Honda. He pulled up next to me on the 250 Honda, or I pulled up next to him, and the first thing I thought was, I'm on a 450. I might have a chance here of doing him out the gate.
Yeah.
And he actually said hello to me on the start line.
Did he?
Just he said, how's it going? If I can, 30-second board, 15-second board's going up in a minute. Maybe that was him putting me off. It sort of put me off. So I thought, I'm going for it, because I was reasonably confident on the start. I never really got fazed by anyone. Anyway, he just smoked me out the gate. Didn't see him for the rest of the weekend. And that was the only time I ever rode with Carmichael. At that race, never raced with him before or again. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was good to race sort of Stefan Everts a little bit as well. He moved down at the MX2 class when he rode the Rinaldi bike. He started to race MX on the 250. Yeah, because I would have got Stefan's jersey when I was younger. He'd have been one of the ones I'd have asked for his jersey. I've got it somewhere. And people like him, so it's very different. There's another, you've got to switch off and think these were my heroes and idols, and that's a big thing as well. That was a big thing for me when I started to race Chiodi and people like that. Like, I thought Chiodi was great. I get on really well with him now. He messages me sometimes, see him in Italy if I'm in Italian Grand Prix. He still rides really well. And then you find yourself battling with him for Grand Prix. It's just, yeah, it's nice, but yeah.
Was that surreal for you? But then obviously you say you didn't really get didn't put you off or anything. You didn't. Obviously, must have been a surreal, like you said, you looked up to them guys, and then you're racing them, but you didn't get phased by that.
No, not really. Not that year. Not the Groot years. The year before, I just started racing with them a bit, and I was getting some hole shots and starting to believe that I was in and around that top 5. So that was the start of it for me. And then when I got with the Groot, he just brought that confidence out in me that I didn't really get phased by anyone then. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, so some good riders back then. But that was when the age limit wasn't in. Like, there was no age limit in the MX2 either. So you had Dobby won the 1-5 world title when he was 29. And you still had Brownie and Chiodis. They were racing when they were 30, 31 in the MX2 GPs. The depth was good, but I'm not saying it's wrong now, because I think the European 1-5 and the European 250 is a very good championship now. Another one that I've not forgotten, but he does the European EMX, is Cole McCulloch. I've been doing a lot with Cole. I've done a lot with him in the winter in Spain, and he actually broke his wrist at the weekend in Arco. So not badly, but he
that's good.
He broke it and he's off for about a month. So that was a bummer for him, because he's only 14. That's a great place for him to be. He's in that EMX 1-5. And the next step is the EMX 250, which again is a great stepping stone for the MX2 GPs. But when you're in the MX2 GPs, unless you're going into that class when you're 18, if you go into it when you're 21, 22, you've only got 2 good years and you're out. And I think for a few people that can really that can decide their career in a way, because you do get riders that are, I would probably put myself in the bracket that I was better on a small bike than a big bike. To race one. So you will get them riders that just won't take the 450 very well. Or it will take a lot of time for them to get used to it. So it's changed a lot in that way. And I think it's but I do think the 1-5 European is a good race to watch.
But you think that even in the 90s, you think Puzars wouldn't have won that 1-5 world title? I think that was like 95, 96. Chico Chodi was I would say he was a 1-5 rider. He won his titles. Like, those guys wouldn't have won their world titles, would they? If they
no, not if the age limit was in. No, not at all. But that will never come back like that anymore. It just they were separate Grand Prix, different. I think there was only 12 Grand Prix back then in a year. So it was very short season in a way.
Didn't go as well. They went to a few faraway places, but not as many as they do now sometimes. What's Richard saying here? Hi Stephen, remember watching you do the double win at Canada Heights on the Kawasaki. You were on fire that day. Can't remember the year though.
2006. I was riding really well that day. That was a few weeks after is when I had my accident. but yeah, Ken De Dyker was doing the British Championship that year. I think he won it actually. But I was just riding really well at Canada Heights. I remember being like 2.5 seconds fastest in the qualifying, 2.5 seconds faster, 2 hole shots, and just won it quite convincingly. But what a lot of people won't realise is on the Wednesday or the Thursday, I think it was a Wednesday, I went to Tony Moto. Remember that track?
Yeah, Tony
It's
Moto.
not called Tony Moto. It's not even open anymore. Route 34 it was called lately.
Yeah, I remember
I went there and I went there practicing, and the second lap I jumped in a soft part, went over handlebars, landed on my back, winded myself, and I walked back to the van, I put the bike back on the pickup. I didn't ride again. Dave was there, Thorpe was there, he had a couple of riders there, and I remember saying to him, "Oh, my back's sore, Dave, I'm going home." And I got in the van, I got in the pickup, drove home, got out the pickup, and I could barely walk in the house.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've fucking done something wrong here. And I just thought maybe I'd just like pulled a muscle. Anyway, couldn't get up the next morning. So I went cycling to try and sort of ease it all up, and still wasn't better. I had a massage, I had everything, everything that I should have been doing, rested a bit.
Yeah.
Still painful, but it was, you take a few tablets and I just taped it up, and it was fine at Canada Heights anyway. It didn't bother me. But what I'm getting at the story, when I broke my leg at Teutschenthal, I was in a lot of pain. He knocked me out straight away, took me to the hospital in Germany. Anyway, I didn't know, but they put me in this MRI thing, and they'd MRI'd me the whole body. So when I woke up, I didn't know where I was. I was screaming and shouting and didn't know where I was. And I sat up on the bed, my arms were going. I was sitting up on the bed, and the lady, I remember the lady, she pushed me back down on the bed. She said, "No, move. You can't move. You've broken your back." And I'm like, "Fucking back feels fine."
Wow.
And I'm like, "No, my back." So I think my dad was there at that point. I said, "I can't have broke my back. My back feels absolutely sound." But what I'd done was I broke a vertebrae in that crash before Canada Heights.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I found that out later on.
Jesus, and
Cracked
that's
a vertebrae,
MRI.
chipped it right off. But
Hell.
they were worried that there was a bit of swelling and stuff. And anyway, found out it was an old injury, because when I got transferred from there to Belgium to Dr. Klaas, he, on the report, he said, "It says here you broke your." I said, "I've not broke my back." I said, "What?" I said, "My back's fine. It's not very sore. It's not sore. It was a bit stiff, but." And that's what happened there. I broke it 2 weeks before.
Yeah, didn't know that one. No.
So yeah, but that was the least of the problems at that point.
With the old leg and that was have you always been, was you ever into the technical side of the bikes? Does that interest you at all? Did you just like to ride them?
No, I took a lot of I learned a lot from I learned a lot when I went with in the younger years, like when I was with teammates with Brownie. I sort of just sort of went with whatever he had. And that was basically what I got anyway, so I didn't really have any choice. Didn't really have much input in the suspension, or just rode what was good. But when I went with the group to Japan, and that was my eye opener on what a factory team was all about. The choice you had, and how you had to narrow it down, and what you wanted, and that was, you could have the choice of anything, different frames, different, and I said, "Look," I said, "this is too complicated for me." He said, "Don't," he said, you might not, you won't get it, but they want you to try it, because they want to write down what your thoughts are. For them, it's all about gathering information to then put it into production for the next years or so. So your opinion matters to them, not just if you want it, but whether it's any good for the bikes. But yeah, I mean, I just tried to get what I liked and then keep it. You know, I didn't divert too much. I sort of didn't. If I liked the suspension, I left it. And same with the engine. Once you get something that works, I didn't swap and change a lot.
Prefer to keep it what you got with.
He can send me a hot tub if he wants.
Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to get you to buy one or.
I've got an ice bath actually. I've got one of the ice baths. Yeah, I've got one in the garden. Yeah, that's more beneficial for me.
Yeah. Is it?
And it does help. Yeah, it transformed me a little bit.
Nice.
I do it most days.
We'll never get out of it.
Yeah, it is cold, but it does help. It does help a little bit. Every little bit helps now.
Yeah. What does that help with then, Steve? Like your knocks you got your knee, does it help your knee and your?
Yeah, a little bit. Just sort of. Yeah, it does. My back as well. That the back injury I was talking about. I've lost my back muscles more than what I had before, but I get a lot of pain in the back of my shoulders, and it takes a bit of that away. Yeah.
Interesting, because I'm sat here now with a flipping body belt thing on because my back's so crap. So
yeah, sitting down's no good. But I should go to the gym a bit more. I don't train enough really. I should go to the gym a bit more. There's no excuse for it. A little bit more gym work would help me.
Hopefully you'll get onto the bikes a little bit, and that'd be good as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get you down to one of the reunions. Hopefully it works out sometime. That would be cool to get you down at some point.
Yeah, well, you're just down at Whiteway, aren't you?
Yeah. Not this weekend, the weekend after. Yes, 29th, 30th.
Yeah, I might be about.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I might not ride, but I might pop down.
Yeah. That'd be awesome if you did, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of... I've got my little list in front of me. You obviously know all these guys, but we got like Liddington and Holmes and all that riding. Danny Smythe's coming down. Danny Smythe's even racing. Danny Smythe's racing as well. Battlefield, Jeff Perrett, Julian Rawson, Matt Gordon, Andy Gilbert, Matt Bates, Julian Clark.
Are they all racing? Are they?
They're all riding in the Legends demonstration laps.
Yeah.
You know, like 10-minute session or so, just 10-minute session, have a few laps. There's no race or anything. They're just going to roll on and just ride. It's always cool. Just
suit me. That might suit me.
Sorry, don't get me excited, mate, because I'm on the commentary as well. And if I don't get me excited, and I message you and you're going, Sorry, you coming? Go, nah, mate, said that. I just said that.
I could maybe do it on the Ciron. Is that all right or not?
You could do it whatever you like, mate. If I got Sordy down to my reunion and out in the Legends, that'd be sweet. But yeah, look, some of them, even Greg Hansen's racing in the vets as well. Craig Prattley will be there as well. Rob Andrews, Dave Watson. They're all having a go around on older bikes and stuff. Like, there's no races, just having a Legends both days, 2 sessions a day. Rush Jarman's racing as well in the vets, and he's riding in the thing as well. There's loads of the boys. Colin Thomas as well. Dan Beamish. Quite a few.
Wow, it's good, isn't it? Really
like a top 40 from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. I bet it'd be good down there this week.
Yeah, it'd be good, mate.
It's drying up. You probably need to water it.
Yeah, probably will end up that way. I'll show you. I'll send you over the pictures of the track, mate. It's been totally all revamped. It's absolutely mint, and the viewing is
they had
unreal.
a race there last week. I had some people there. They were racing.
Yeah,
there,
I went to the practice day on the Sunday to check it out.
Yeah,
really good, mate. Honestly, it's really good, and yeah, should be interesting. So yeah, we'll have to speak to you off here now.
How much is the entry fee?
Let's not talk about that on here. Come and pick you up to make sure you come.
There'll be plenty of people coming past my house. Yeah,
really.
I might swing by.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I might swing in. Yeah.
Obviously, some of the people come in on Friday, but it's like Saturday and Sunday. But any if you want to come down, either, both, whatever. So obviously the beer tent and DJ. Yeah. You remember Benji Cockrell?
Yeah,
he's doing the DJ. Yeah, he's mental.
So
he's done both the reunions.
BSMA reunion. Then,
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, we just can't say that because they weren't keen on me mentioning that. But
right.
so that's what it was. That's basically what it was. It was a BSMA reunion. Yeah, to put it bluntly. But yeah, we just can't use the name.
So, where are we speedwaying down there as well? Then is that part of it?
We'll do that. My mate come up on here early. He goes, "We'll do I said a ride in hospital. So it's sliding hospital. So I'm like, oh, steady. We could do a speedway day there. I could definitely organise that. I've got a lot of speedway contacts. We could do that. That'd be cool one day, wouldn't it? Get a little.
Where can you go? Where can you go for that?
That's what I mean. There's not a lot for just general practicing. You end up probably having to hire like the whole, like a main track. But
Swindon's not there anymore, is it?
no. Well, it's still there. I speak to
They built
Roscoe, like the Swindon manager, all the time. They're
building a
actually.
house
I'm
there,
going
are they?
tomorrow night.
Building.
I'm going tomorrow night, Saudi. There's Swindon are having like a one-off meeting against Oxford tomorrow night. I'm going there tomorrow
Really?
night. Yeah, they're like having Jason Doyle and like top riders are riding for the night, for a Swindon select, as it were. But yeah, but the track's still there. It's just that I'm not sure it's going to be there. There's all houses around it. They're not letting them build any more houses until they finish the stadium. So it's like it's weird what's going on there, mate. I don't know. My head's scrambled now. You said that you might. Oh, you thrown me there on that one. Don't forget, this is on here. This is recorded. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'm at home that weekend, so.
Shit.
Yeah.
Come on down, Saudi. Come on down. We'll get a bike and everything if you want one.
Yeah. So
one post out there.
All right.
Bradley Briggs.
We'll leave it pending a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I'll be straight on it in a minute. You'll be like, piss off. I'm going to sleep now.
I'll be down there practicing. I'll be down there practicing next couple of days.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, going down there and having a little ride round. Yeah, but trust me, it's like the whole place is. Russell Watts, who's running it now, he's took over the track and he run our reunions anyway, the motocross side. So he's took over the actual track and he's down from that way. Mate, he's put so much work into it, all brand new like chestnut fencing all around it, all this green fence. It looks like a bloody GP now. Really good. The British should be there in the next year or two. 100%.
You reckon?
Yeah, they've already asked him. Not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but
yeah, well,
yeah, it'd be cool, mate, because it's like a bit of old school as well, but it's got a few up and down hills, as you know, and it's way tidier than it was back in the day. Is the point? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like prepped a bit, and it was a bit rough and ready back then. A few of the riders have said to me, "Jesus, I sent Prattley the pictures, and he was like, fucking hell, I wish they prepped it like that for when we rode there." I was like, "Yeah, that's true." True, yeah, but yeah, let me know, mate. We'll definitely get a bite. No problem at all.
Yeah, no worries.
Like you said, it's just a potter around. It's no race or anything, so could suit. A lot of the guys don't want to race now at the end of the day. I know there's a lot of races and stuff out there, isn't there? But, a lot of the guys don't mind doing a few laps and a bit of a reminisce, but not too keen on racing. So,
yeah.
Makes sense, you know what I mean? No one's...
good. Like I said, I'll try and make the effort to come down anyway, even if I don't do anything. I'll just come and have the crack for a bit.
Yeah, it'd be, like I said, it's a massive social thing as well, and a big reminisce and all that as well. So, it's really good. Really good. All right, we'll keep in touch then, buddy, and I really appreciate your time. Thanks for rushing back and getting the shower in and getting on.
You're welcome. I'll go and have my tea now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
What are you having? I'll probably end up with cereals or something.
No, I can't eat this late. At my age, you can't eat this late.
No.
Straight to bed.
Yeah. Decent breakfast then.
I've got a race in a couple of weeks' time. I've got to get in shape.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, and start the fitness plan tomorrow morning. Yeah. Getting the old ice thing.
Yeah, I have more chance of going in there than having my tea, actually.
Yeah, that's be good, isn't it? Sounds good to me. I need to get down there. There's a couple of them down by our swimming pool things, the old freezing cold things. But yeah, I might try that as well. Then I might be able to walk a bit better.
Yeah, you got to do it. You've got to do it a bit regularly to see the results. I mean, if you went in once.
Yeah, it's not going to do nothing. Like, what is it then? Is it like what is that then? Exactly what you got?
Just a little ice bath, and it just got the water's in there now. It won't be cold now. I'd have to add ice to it. It's cold, but I'd have to add ice. So I won't go in it tonight. I'll go in the morning probably.
Yeah.
I'll just go down and I can do 10 minutes quite good now. 10 minutes is enough.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
feel
just
the
more,
benefit.
I don't know. Some people wouldn't believe in it, and some people just. But I always, I thought I'll have a go. I'll give it a go. I always have a cold shower anyway, so.
Do
I always finish
Is
with
that
a
the
cold
Scottish thing
shower.
in you? Is that the
I
Scottish
don't
thing in you?
know. I don't know what it is. I like swimming in the sea as well.
Do you? Just
And
I
go
do
in
a
the
few.
cold sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I run in and just do that one. Yeah. You got a choice then. One of them ones.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate your time, mate. Top man.
You're welcome. And thank
Legend.
you for everybody for being so kind.
Yeah, really cool. They've been commenting all night. Lots of good banter. John Gifford just put great chat. Top man, Swordy.
Yeah, John's a good guy. He's all right, isn't he? Thanks for that.
Here we go. Look, here we go. I told you this was going to happen. Trust me. Lance, here we go. I have a Kawasaki 450 Swordy. Can have a go on if he wants to ride the track. Yeah, I'm going to have messages now, flat out, doing that.
See,
Can he ride my Mugen Honda for 2 laps?
450 is the wrong bike for me at the minute.
Oh yeah. And then it'll be on sale the week after. Ex Steven Sword.
Yeah. Yander Group, Kawasaki.
That's it. Wouldn't be surprised if Briggs has got something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is he coming down to it?
Who's that?
Briggs. Is he coming?
Good point. I haven't spoken to Bradley. His brother Spencer's coming down as well, so I don't know. But he's sponsored one of the groups as well. Bradley. He always helps every year as well with the reunion. He's been involved from the start, all 3 of them. So yeah, I'll have to chat him up and ask him as well. So he probably will if you knows you're coming. Probably have about 10 bikes in his van. Factory as well. Factory.
Nice little 125 with nice suspension. That'll do me.
Yeah. I think, Bradley might have a ex Mike Brown Pro Circuit 125 like real deal.
Yeah, he has. I think he got that shipped over, didn't he?
Yeah. I wonder if you'd roll that out. Massive insurance. We got massive insurance on that.
Yeah, fair play.
Sure.
Good. Yeah, no. Well,
cheers, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Is this where we say goodbye? Is it?
Yeah, but I'll it won't be goodbye because I'll speak to you anyway privately and all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna block you now.
Yeah, I was gonna say shit. I'll just go on Martin's account.
Yeah, Martin. Yeah. I'm gonna turn my phone off tonight. It'll be bleeping all night now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get messages as well. Oh, to give Swordy his bike. Brilliant. Yes, I'm getting excited now, Swordy. Don't kill me off now.
All right. Well,
cheers, mate. I appreciate your time, Pay. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Top man.
Bye, mate.
Take it easy, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Legend, Steven Sword. Shit. I don't like to swear online, but sounds like Swordy might be coming to do a couple of laps at the Legends. Oh. Jesus, what is going on? What is going on? I'm going to be a Met Office expert in the next 2 weeks doing that. Please, come on, just give me a dry weekend as well, because this is starting to sound really cheeky. Yo, my brother. Ace interview, bro. 100% riding it soon, Mr. Hart. Wow. Less than 2 weeks. Well, what we know, Wednesday tomorrow. Jesus, week and a half. Holy shit. I've been doing loads of stuff, doing an online program. Plus, our buddy Kev Pride is putting out like a program together so that everyone can have it on paper as well. That's looking really cool. I have sent a lot of people out the info on that as well. You may have seen a couple of them that I've put out. It's like that, look, with all a load of details. You can see it. You can check all my stuff. Like loads of the details there. Look, you'll see like, all the opening times and the track opening times, and then you've already got the race schedules out. Look, but I'll have an online program as well, where I'll basically put a link out for the website to go straight onto the online program that I'm sorting out now. Because obviously I'll be updating it all the way up to the meeting, and also I've got still got a few spaces if anyone wants to get involved. I think I've got. I'll just have a quick look now. I've literally got one vets has come up over 45 class on any bike, so I've got one spot in the vets. Got a bit too excited when Swordy was going. What's the entry then? Like racing? What's going on? Yeah, I've got some spots in MX1 and MX2. That'll be like a Motocross the Nations of back in the 90s, because, well, sorry, I mean the Evo Super Evo class, but I'll get to that in a second. So the MX1 and MX2, they'll be together, but scored separately. So I've got some space in that. I've got a few spaces left in the intermediate class on any bike. So message me to get booked in. I've got one spot left in the juniors class, which is any bike as well. Just literally look, the one spot that someone moved to another group. And these are all 44 in them as well. Vets over 45, look, just one spot left. Any bike as well, over 45. Novice 1 is full. Novice 2 is full. And sort of into about halfway of Novice 3 already. So if anyone wants to get into Novice, that's on any bike as well. Don't forget the transponder link to hire the transponder is going to be open till this weekend. It's on Go Race. I've put the link out there quite a few times. If you need to know it, get hold of me and I'll give you the link, because you need to get on that as soon as possible, because those guys need to know what they need to get on the transponder wise. So you can hire them, or if you've got your own, I've got all the numbers down on here as well that I'll be passing over to the other guys. And then you've got the 125cc Evo Super Evo class and the 250-500 Evo Super Evo class. This is what I meant about the Motocross the Nations. I've got it right this time. They'll be both together, but they'll be scored separately as well. And basically at the end of the weekend, the top 4 overall from each class will end up in a super final to finish the weekend off. Our massive big super cup that we got for me and Kevin's dad's memories. So it's basically like Motocross and Spear memories. David Ashby and Steve Wheeler, and then it says national champion on it. A massive great cup. The 2 winners were Harvey James, a local lad down that way, won the MX2 class at Reunion 1, and then he won the super final. And then last year, you guys would know as well, Luke Burton, the multi-AMCA champion, super IMBA champion and all that. He won the super final last year at Culham. So it'd be interesting to see who's going to win the super final this year as well. It'd be really cool. Top 5 all get trophies. We'll be having, the old popping the bottles on the rostrum and all that. Massive thanks as well to Tom Brown from Motor Extreme in Marshfield for hooking me up with his rostrum. And big thanks to Dean as well, that does our trophies. He's going to be bringing that down for us as well with the trophies. And apparently some reefs as well that Tom didn't use. So I really appreciate that, Tom. Top man, what a guy. Helps me out with a lot of jerseys in the backgrounds and things like that I've done over the years. So I appreciate that as well. We have got one group left to sponsor as well. I believe it's Novice 1. All the rest have been sponsored. The guys are giving us banners, and Russ and the guys are going to get those banners out on the hillside that everyone will be seeing, because I don't know, anyone that doesn't know that the spectator views for this track is unreal, because you're sort of on this side and everything's on the side of this hill the other side, and you can follow your rider around the whole track. It's absolutely mint, absolutely mint. And they've done so much hard work, all new chestnut fencing, totally revamped the track, made the jump safer, just all round. When I went there to the practice day they had there last Sunday, and then they had a race meeting on the Monday as well, so they could see how everything worked. And yeah, I was really chuffed. Come away from there absolutely buzzing. It was mint, absolutely mint, buzzing for it. So just need a little bit of luck now with a little bit of decent weather, hopefully. But apparently they had a mass rainfall on the Sunday night after we left, and they said that the track was even better when it had the wet on it. So hopefully, even if it does get a few showers here and there, it might not be a bad thing. Great interview. Part 2 needed to talk about his career in more detail. 100%, mate. Time flies, doesn't it, when you're enjoying it and getting into it? Soon flies by. I would race the over 45s. I wasn't racing Sunday. Bummer, buddy. Another great relief. Thanks, Gary. Me and Max looking forward to it. Cannot wait for racing at Whiteway Barton. Top man, Martin. Thank you very much for coming on as well. And thanks for getting involved for the reunion. Appreciate it. We do appreciate the support. I think we're up to it's about 260, 270 riders now booked in. So really appreciate it. It's been unbelievable. Like I said, it was an absolute pipe dream coming off the interviews, and I was always talking about a BSMA reunion, as a lot of you might know. Absolute pipe dream to even think about doing a meeting. So we ended up at that reunion one. I think we had about like 340 booked in. It was absolute madness. We ended up going to Little Hempston. We were going to White Way and then it got changed to Little Hempston. That was amazing. Rich, the track guy there, did an amazing job. And then we went to Reunion 2 at Cullum last year in April. And that was a really cool meeting as well. Unfortunately, there was a few injuries there, which was a bit of a bummer. And some of the guys I knew as well. So that was soured it a little bit for me in the background. Obviously everyone had a good time and everyone said how good the event was, but just when a couple of personal friends got injured, it wasn't good. But yeah, it was an amazing event. We had like nearly 400 riders. It was absolute chaos, to be honest. It was nuts. How they got through that program was unreal. The 33MX guys, unbelievable. Russell Watts and his team, and Tracy Watts and all the girls and everything to do the transponders. That was absolute madness. So we knew we needed to just cut it back a little bit. It was a bit too much, riders wise. So we did drop a group for this year. Made sense, and yeah, make it. We want to make a big event, but obviously manageable as well, because obviously it's a hard thing. It's a hard weekend. It's been a hard 5-6 months organising this. You might see it all. These might need to get the old cucumbers on these. I've been doing that, going to bed really late, 1-2 a.m. and then waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing that. Oh yeah, I need to order with some wristbands, stuff like that. So it's just forever going on. So yeah, I'll be hopefully resting after the reunion for a while, maybe a week at least. Just for the brain, maybe like half a shandy or something like that. So yeah, any of you guys can camp as well on the Sunday night after the event if you want. There won't be any music and stuff like that on there, but there'll be like the beer tent. Benji Cockrell will be in there and DJing in the beer tent on Friday and Saturday night. Also a cool one, Saturday has been sort of put down as a bit of an 80s night, so if anyone wants to dress up and have the crack on Saturday night, it's a bit of an 80s night, so you can do that, which would be cool. And also I'm going to do a competition. Got to sort out what I'm going to do prize wise or something. Maybe might have some merch, so maybe a t-shirt or a hoodie or something like that, just for a bit of fun. So I'm going to have some new merch ready for the reunion. If not, it'll be online as soon as possible. It's been about 2 or 3 years in the making, but so I might have that there as well. And yeah, we're going to do a competition, a bit of a laugh, maybe about 10 o'clock when everyone's a bit merry on the Saturday night, which I'm sure will be the main night. That goes on till I think it's midnight. We're allowed with the music and the Jennies and all that till midnight Saturday night. About 10 o'clock, we'll do a little competition for people to come up on the mic and do the old motocross noises. I did put a post out the other day, and I just was cracking up when you watch the videos. All the dads going bap, 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 and doing all these noises and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have the crack, and we'll do that on the Saturday night. So maybe for some merch or something like that as a bit of a laugh, we'll do that. I've got a good, well, I say I've got a good one. I think I've got a decent ATCC, whatever you want to call it, 100 Honda. Back in the day in the 90s, big wheel, small wheel now and all that, innit? I think I got a half decent one of the sound of that Honda being clutched up the hill, hitting a couple of bumps. I think I've got that. I'm quite confident in that, but I won't obviously do it until I've had 2 shandies at least. So so I'm sure we're gonna have some good fun over the weekend, and fingers crossed on the weather as well. It just would be nice if there's not too much rain over that weekend as well. It'd be nice. Could be good for the watering and the natural watering, but in general, not all weekend. Hopefully it'll be decent. I'm sure Dad's looking down on me and help me out. We've had 2 good first reunions, so I will be praying again and praying to this man again. So before I go, I always say my dad's quote. I've got a t-shirt of that somewhere as well that Mr. Andy Graham, 1982 British Speedway champion, brought down to reunion. He brought a t-shirt of the logo that Pat Stott did for me. He did my logo as well. The logo there, and done one with my dad, a picture of him with his quote, which is, "It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice." So we'll leave it on that. Lots of exciting things coming up. Going to Oxford Speedway tomorrow to watch Swindon Robbins. First time I've been to Speedway since the reopening of Oxford last year after reunion 2 at the beginning of April. So it's been a year. So looking forward to that tomorrow night. So if anyone down there, come and say hello. And then, yeah, that's all systems go for just over a week. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to Ling this weekend to do having the debut on the old commentary. So really looking forward to that. And then it's the reunion the week after. So I've got the throat sweets for singers or whatever I got online with the advice from my buddy Adam Winslet, who's just singing. Because I remember when I did the second day at the first two reunions, by the end of the second day, you're like, but yeah, hopefully it'll be all good. So thank you very much for all coming on. What a guy, Stephen Sword, proper legend, BSMA legend as well. And you never know, it sounds like you might even be able to get him on a bike next week. How cool would that be? So fingers crossed on that. And I got him on record, so this gets recorded. I'll share the recording tomorrow as well. So thanks everyone for coming on. Good night and God bless. Ciao. See you all soon.